Good morning, world. Actually, the volume, despite everything else, making me think I shouldn't. Because you know what? Today is about giving up. Today is about giving up. For far too much time, each and every single one of us, including myself, by the way, I was not immune to this, and I'm still not immune to this. I want people to listen to that. I'm still not immune to this. What that means is that I, and most people, if not everyone in the entire human race, equates giving up to a bad thing. Giving up equals bad. As sometimes to understand that something could actually be a good thing, we have to explore why it's a bad thing. So why is giving up bad? Well, I think you ask almost every single human being in this world today, well, do you think giving up's a good thing or a bad thing? I promise you that most people are going to say it's a bad thing. They're going to reference things like, well, it means that you're missing out on things. It means that you're not getting what you want. It means that you got prevented. It means that you're suffering negatives. It means that... So hear what I'm saying. It means that there was a result that you were seeking, and that on the path, the trajectory towards reaching that result, something intervened and something interrupted you and something prevented you. And it doesn't matter if it's good, it doesn't matter if it's bad, it doesn't matter if it's harmless. My point is, most of us associate and equate giving up to, well, we just didn't get what we were seeking. It could be as simple as taking a sip of water, taking a bite of cereal, trying to go the whole stream without taking a single bite of my food, drinking warm coffee instead of cold coffee. I could go on and on and on and on. Any of those situations, if they were created within me as an outcome that I'm seeking, an outcome that I need, a situation that needs to happen, well then, if something prevents that, I might have to give up. If something prevents that, I might have to give up. So that means that we're responding to if something prevents us. That means that we're responding. We're not just doing. Hear what I'm saying? It means that we are responding. We're not doing. What is the danger of that? Well, if I can if I can shepherd you down a path and put you boxed in or create fences around you so that you can only you have to respond to the things that present. Think of it like on the left side something presents, or on the right side now something presents, or behind you something presents, and when those things present, you have to respond to that. If you weren't ready when something presented, well then you're forced to give up, because then you're going to fail, the outcome is not going to be achieved. So doesn't that mean that if I can create the fence or the box around you with a specific opening where I want, so that you have to respond to things, can't I then decide the outcome of the story and the timing of things? Because that means that since I know you're only responding and you're not doing, that if today I want you to do something else or go to the right side of the fence instead of the left side, I can just present things there that you need to respond to. Whereas if you were just operating freely and doing, you're like, actually today I'm not even going to operate around the fence whatsoever. What would make us think that there's something that we need to respond to on the right side of the fence? Well, suggestions would have to appear. Information would have to be delivered to us. Could be through any source. Could be through overt things. Could be through harmless things. Could even be through direct mental insertion that populates into our head as we're doing something or consuming something. It doesn't matter what it is. Do you all understand that if all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I think that there's some good things that are going to happen by the right side of the fence today. There's always this beautiful daughter of the Grand Summoner that walks over there, and I know that you talked to her once, and you guys considered she considered dating you, and you did too. So maybe you should walk over there and you can see her again. But you have to. She walks by there at a specific hour. That's when she does that. So how would you walk there today, to the right side of the fence? So you see, that means we're responding. People are like, wait, what? It means that we're responding. So one thing, I just want to throw out an interrupt here for myself, but what I'm realizing is that when I have given up on trying to get an outcome from something, so in this case, I've given up on trying to heal people or give people this knowledge or try to make them realize how things actually operate, I just go complex. I realize I don't dump things down. I actually jump from complex to complex. And that actually makes me very, very excited, because that's how I know I'm actually operating right now in a state of having given up. Because when I care about a specific outcome, when I care about getting something correct, and what is correct? Correct for myself. I'm not even saying correct from other people grading it. I'm saying for myself that I know that I've delivered in such a way that can communicate a message, that can heal people, that can make them understand. When I start caring about that, it's because I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can achieve. I know what I know. And I know how I can explain it. So if it doesn't land that way, or I don't deliver it in such a way, well, I don't beat myself up because I've defeated that. But do you guys see that? It means that something prevented me. Something still succeeded in preventing me. Which means that there's now a source of frustration that can arise. What if today I just was like, you know what? I'm not going to even walk by the fence. Yet, from the moment I woke up, there's literally just thoughts populating into my head about, let's go see the daughter of the Grand Summoner today. You know what? Let's clean our backyard. Let's play with our kid and our dog back there, so that we can conveniently, accidentally bump into the daughter of the Grand Summoner while she's out there. I think for myself, Westheim, Germany. Jasmine. So, do you see, we always think in these examples that I'm like, well, that's just, we're not responding. I'm saying, no, we're responding. We're responding to information that has been put into our head through some kind of source. A source can be music. The source can be words. The source can be sounds. The source can be a sense. The source can be anything. But I'm saying that what you all need to really catch are the direct mental thoughts that start populating and formulating what I call a path. All of a sudden, we feel like doing something. And what we feel like doing isn't necessarily the culprit. It should be examined with a magnifying lens to be like, why should we do this? What's going on? But what needs to be understood is what is being suggested. The timing of it and what. Because what you're going to realize is that it's starting to craft what you talk about. It's starting to modify how you think. It's starting to deviate your paths. So what does that mean? It means that we're responding when we actually do. I might be in the backyard now, since I'm just a single dad trying to take care of my kid and my dogs. I've been looking to date a girl. So even though I'm supposed to be parenting and having fun with my child and teaching him something and my dog, one of my focuses is actually now, where's the daughter, the grandson? Like every so often I'm like, hey kid, here you go. But actually my focus is on something else. You see, they got me to focus on something so I can respond. Do we understand? That means that now, if something prevents that, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter the severity, doesn't matter if it's harmless, it doesn't matter if it's lethal, doesn't matter if it's positive, doesn't matter if it's negative. But you see, if something prevents that, it means that we couldn't get what we wanted or we were seeking, and we had to give up by force. We lost by force. You see, because now a victory condition got created. But what I'm trying to get everyone, including myself, to realize is that the victory conditions get created for us without us even realizing when it's happening. Because if you're just walking forward, if you don't know what's around the corner or what to expect, there's no victory condition. I challenge all of you to stress test this. But if I already know something, if I know what's possible, if I know what I can achieve, I know what I can accomplish, I know how I can create something, I know I can craft something, I know what I can get away with and what I can't. Well, you guys see, all of a sudden a victory condition can get crafted. But what I'm telling all of you is that before we do anything, if it's the second time, the first time, what they're going to try desperately is to present as many things before you do something for the first time, because you're not supposed to do something just free, ever. If you somehow manage to, they're going to try to create an interruption. They're going to try to create an interruption so that it buys them time. Who's they? It doesn't matter. My point is anything that can present information to you. So it buys them time so they can start what I call seasoning you, so that all of a sudden a victory condition is created. And what is the victory condition? It could be as harmless as, well, I want my stream to be like this. I want to talk about these 6 things. I want to do this. I want to see this. I want to hear this. I want to encounter this. But wait, if you haven't experienced something before, if you don't know what something is, you would just explore freely. So that means that if I wanted to make sure that every single human being in this world responds to me, rather than I responding to them, wouldn't I have to create the victory conditions for something to make sure that anytime they experience something, I have to interrupt them if they're operating freely, and then quickly insert as many victory conditions into their head through whatever source possible, whether it's direct mental insertion, whether it's through overt senses, or whether it's through just info that they can read or be presented to them. So then when they finally get to the location and the destination, they're now responding to, wait, go to the left side of the fence today. That's actually where the good things are going to be presented. And then all of a sudden they go over there and the good things aren't happening. And all of a sudden they're like, I don't understand. I thought that's where the good things were. This was pretty mediocre. Like, what? So you see, now this prevention of what they thought was the victory condition, or now everything that they're operating, because what I want all of you to understand is that I got to this because I couldn't piece together how to operate once I realized that they were pre-seasoning me mentally whenever I was about to do something that I value. So I create my own experiences in everything I do now. Every single thing. Doesn't matter what it is. Which means that I'm not reliant on something else determining or dictating my victory condition. And if there's anything overt that presents that tries to do that for me, that's extremely easily to get a light sword and destroy it. It's extremely easy for me. But what I couldn't piece together was I didn't know how to operate when I was getting positive suggestions into my head related to something that I was about to do or that I was considering doing. Because you see, what that does is then it starts creating a victory condition for you. It starts deviating you. It starts changing how you operate. And I couldn't piece together what it actually was, because you see, I always used to view it as danger, danger. They're trying to control my story. They're trying to get me to talk about specific things, or they're trying to get me to create a specific way, or they're trying to make me do things a specific way. And I'm saying, for most of you, that is what they're doing. Because, hey, guys, when you guys do like a stream talk like this, or when you're sharing knowledge, you guys need to be very careful about starting paths. Don't use personal examples. Don't explore the past. Try to avoid vague, generic things. Don't use humor or comedy. All those things, they're not good. They're all baits by darkness, just so you guys know. So that when people consume it, they don't have their focus controlled. They get interrupted, and then they start going down the wrong path. And then they start thinking like, wait, they don't even know what's going on, because now they're interpreting everything through a mental world that something else builds up for them, rather than just actually focusing like, wait, what is he actually saying? What does he know? What is he explaining? Hold on. How can I ground myself? Do I hear the music in the background? Can I hear it? Wait, what is he actually... So I'm telling you guys, that's the way to create in anything. So if I start telling you to do that, because I know it's what I want you to create, it is the best way, just so you guys understand, not because the creation itself is going to be better or worse. It's the best way because it protects every single individual who's consuming it or interacting with it from going down the wrong paths. It protects us from the things that try to deviate us and try to control us with dark tendrils. If whatever's created wasn't created on a good path, protected, what happens is that they can take any small darkness seed and they can plant a full tree to create negative reminders or a false mental world for us. And then we all get lost because then we're interpreting rather than just being present. And that's intentional. So you see, I know that. And I'm saying there's something in this world that doesn't know that as well. So when it's starting to present suggestions, it's because it wants us to create whatever we're about to make or whatever we're about to say. Understand, creation is even just interacting with people, just so you guys understand. Most of you aren't there at the point where you can create like a whole world or art or music or a story or a game or something like that. That's fine. You guys, for you, your level of creation, which is still great, is just interacting with people, just talking. And I'm saying is that there's something is suggesting to all of you what to say and what to do and what to write and all this stuff like that. And you are like, oh my God, yeah, that's a really good idea. I'm going to say that. Or I'm going to do that. And I'm saying that's what they want. So the step one is you just need to defeat that. Doesn't matter if it's a good suggestion or not. You can consider, but you have to defeat it. You have to be like, no. Would I create the same thing or similar or take inspiration from that 2 days from now without a path, without anything being presented? All right, now I'm going to create. What am I talking about? How am I operating? What am I doing? Oh, all right. Well, it turns out that I took some inspiration from some of the things that were populating in my head and some of the suggestions that happened, but I made my own thing. That's interesting. So that means I didn't just do what they told me to do. I should pay attention to that. All right. So you see, that's the answer from 99.9% of you right now, because you guys haven't done this climb to understand what I'm talking about, how this world actually operates, how they get us to do things and say things and create things and present things. So that is really easy to defeat. You just have to interrupt yourself. You have to not do what they're suggesting, and you just do something else. And if they ever are presenting things to you, you just don't do that. It's just that simple. It's binary. If they're right now, they're like, hey, talk about this story, you just don't do it. For 99.9% of you, that's the solution, because you are operating at a level where you've never done that once in your entire life. You've always just created whatever they put into your head or whatever gets presented to you or suggested to you. If it's even slightly positive or you agree with that, you think it has a possibility, you because it has your positives, you all will do. It's just that simple. So none of you have ever questioned that, none of you have ever broken that. That's level 1. If you break that though, what ends up happening where I got stuck is that because then they bombard you with negatives is level 2. That one's extremely difficult to overcome because you have to be able to create despite negatives presented. That one's not easy. But level 3 is actually where I got stuck because I realized that before you do anything that you might consider doing that is just free creation, like I want to write a story, I want to create a video game, I am creating one, or I want to create my own experience in whatever I'm doing. Doesn't matter what it is, guys. Could be traveling to a resort, could be playing a video game, could be doesn't matter. You guys see anything. So when you're doing that, all of a sudden they're gonna find ways to suggest to you positive things. So when that happens, remember what I said, they're actually good things. And you now know you always are getting negative. So then if you're finally getting positive, and you like, I know now how to control myself, so it means I don't have to create that way. You see, then the struggle was, do I intentionally choose not to create what they're suggesting, even if it's a good idea, just because I know it got suggested to me? So that's where I got stuck. That's where I got stuck. And then what I realized is what they're doing is, they don't actually care if you create that way or not, just so people understand. They don't actually care if you do or not. What they're actually doing, because you see, I always thought, this is why I say I got stuck until now. Now I'm realizing what it is, why it was causing problems. Because I'm just like, well, I won't do that way, and that's that. There's nothing they can do, or I'll just deviate and like explore a different path temporarily, and there's no problem. I can just then create the next day or in a few hours from now, and it'll be fine. Even if they bring it back, I'm fine. So I thought that was enough, but I would start realizing that there were slight deviations that were happening that were trending towards negative, which means that I was being prevented, and means that I was giving up not by choice. Because remember what I said, guys, you're trying to get to B. Whatever prevents B is actually a really bad thing now. Because you care about the end outcome, but I'm like, why do I care about the end outcome all of a sudden? Like, how are they doing it? And what I realized was they were creating the victory conditions. They were creating victory conditions within me for anything that I'm doing or anything that I might consider doing. Just, you can test it out, guys. Like, you know what? I'm going to record a video right now. I'm in like 10 minutes. First, I'm going to go to the bathroom, then I'm going to serve myself some cereal, then I'm going to make some coffee. Then I'm going to record a video. While you're going to the bathroom, while you're making your coffee, while you're serving yourself cereal, all of a sudden, a bombardment, depending on what level you are, but I'm saying if you defeat the negative level, and you defeat the, hey, they're just going to tell you exactly what to say and what to do. Because most of you won't see, level 1 is you guys you won't even try unless you have an exact thing that you know you're going to talk about. Like, think of it like you have an entire script that you're going to read from. That's level 1. That's what you guys need. Level 2 is you're willing to try without anything, a strict guideline. But then they try to stop you through negatives. That doesn't work. Level 3 is they start pre-seasoning you with positive suggestions that are actually extremely good, that are very valid considerations, that there's no downside to discussing them. But you see, you're like, wait, why do they want me to talk about this? So that means that I know they want me to talk about it, so I probably shouldn't. Even if you defeat the doubt aspect of it, I didn't realize what it was that they were doing. And now I see it. You see, once you guys see something, and once it clicks, once it makes sense, you can't unsee it. I'm saying what they were doing is they were creating victory conditions for myself. They were creating a need for an outcome again. And I didn't understand how they were doing it, because I just would be like, it doesn't matter. I really don't care. I just want to have fun. I'm just doing this as a positive. I'm just doing this to entertain myself. I'm just doing this to reconsume for myself later. I don't need to heal someone. If that happens, it's great. But yeah, it's an extra, it's a bonus. But then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. they find any opportunity to start presenting good suggestions what you can talk about or how you can create. But then what it ends up happening is that it creates a point of comparison. It creates a point of comparison. This is really interesting when we piece this together. It creates a point of comparison because then when you're actually doing, you're like, well, I know I wanted to talk about this. I know I wanted to talk about this. I know I wanted to talk about this. I know I wanted to touch upon this. I know that this got suggested to me. This got suggested to me. Or I know that I'm capable of creating this, or I know this is possible. And then when it doesn't happen anymore, or then you see, like, if they can create the victory condition and then a point of comparison, think like they put they stab the TG banner into the ground. They let you see like the full encounter once. Think of it like if whatever we're trying to do has 100 points, guys. For some reason, the first time or second time, like I said, the first time they try to make you fail as fast as possible, ideally, because they need to preseason you. You got into something free, they need to preseason you as fast as possible, start creating negatives and positives. But let's just say you started the second time and they already successfully preseasoned you. What you guys are going to realize is that you actually make it pretty far. And then they stab a banner into the ground around, like, let's say the 80 to 85 point of whatever you're doing. You didn't get there, but you got close. And now you saw what's possible. You saw what you're capable of. You saw understanding. You experienced some positive, experienced some negatives, but nothing was reinforced yet. So you see, guys, but what happens is that now the victory condition was created because you now know what you're capable of. You know what you've already done. That means that you're on a path of belief. You want to maybe push yourself more, but you also now see the finish line in the distance, what you want to achieve, what you can achieve, and how you can do so. And I'm saying, guys, that's actually what it is. I was so what I'm realizing is that they succeeded because it used to be one of their plays. You guys understand? The level 1 play of the things that control our realities is they intentionally tell us how to create, how to talk, how to write, how to do. It's intentional, by the way, guys. I'm not even grading it. I'm not saying it's always bad. I'm not saying it's always good. I'm just saying they are fully in control of how anything that gets created gets created. There's a lot of great creations out there, and there's a lot of terrible ones. I'm saying whatever the end outcome was planned so that the results and the victories happen the way they intend. Just so you guys understand. That's all. So I always was focused on that then. You guys see, like, they had successfully gotten me to always focus on never do what they suggest. Never do what they suggest. But you see, I always thought that was enough. Because you see, my focus was like I was focused on the actual suggestions. I was focused on what are they trying to get me to do? How are they trying to get me to do so? What are they trying to get me to do? You guys see, that was my focus. That was what they had succeeded because it was one of their previous tactics. So you see, if they create bad in us or things that we had to overcome before, sometimes we start hyper-focusing on that, and it's usually the correct play. But what I'm saying is, I didn't realize that they had actually changed their methodology. Because I was like, how are they making me feel like giving up? How are they doing so consistently? How are they getting me consumed? How are they frustrating me to this point? I just couldn't understand what it is. And the answer is just not doing, deviating. You guys see, like, if you just walk a different path, there's nothing they can do. That is always the answer. But hear what I'm saying. That means that they still successfully managed to make whatever we were trying in that moment, they forced us to give up. Or if we would have continued, we would have started getting what I call dark consumed. We would have started getting negative. We would have started getting vulnerable. We would have actually started reacting negatively to things. Since we know we don't do that, it's an easy thing to prevent. We're just like, you know what? I'm just going to turn it off. I'm just going to turn on my stream right now, and that's that. You see, then that's that. There's nothing that can happen. So I always was like, what's going on? Why do I feel this way? Now I see what it is. Their suggestions aren't even about, hey, you should do this or you shouldn't. It doesn't even matter anymore. They don't even care if we create their way or not, or we experience things the way they suggest or not. See, I was always so focused on that, but it's the wrong thing now. They now know that I'm so aware of anything they suggest. So of course they don't expect me to do what they suggest. They're surprised if I ever do. Doesn't mean that it can't. I've done it once in a while. It's funny actually. It is sometimes the answer. So you're not always doing the predictable path. But what I'm telling you guys is, it's not actually. They don't care about the suggest. They don't even. It doesn't matter to them if you do what they suggest or not. The way they make us give up is they create the victory condition through the suggestions, through what gets pre-seasoned to us mentally, either directly as we're consuming things, laying in bed, or in a quiet moment, or doing an activity. It really is when we're doing activities that we've already mastered. So when we're not learning something, when we're not thinking, guys, if I tell you guys, hey, why is it that most of us put coffee in different types of mugs than water? Why do we usually use water glasses instead of water mugs? Why do we operate that way as humans? Is it so that do we do that so that we can help other people? Be like, hey, do you want a glass of water? It's easier than if we say, hey, do you want a mug of water? Like, is that why we do it? All of a sudden right now, all of you are like, whoa, actually, that is a really good question. Why is it that we chose to serve water in a glass for most people rather than mugs? What is it that does that? You guys see that moment, that pause, that situation creates a moment of thinking. And I'm saying that moment of thinking is one of the most important moments that any of us can experience, because that protects us. That makes us actually immune from their suggestions, from the mental world that gets built up. Because what I'm telling you guys is that if you're doing any activity that you've already mastered or figured out an area, if they can successfully, because if you're fully shielded on a positive path, then you're fine. But what you guys are going to realize is that in any place, just so you guys understand, any area that has even 1% random info that you don't control, just so you guys understand, anything, is that they're intentional, what I call interrupts that are happening. Also, I'm just like, whoa, have you guys ever looked at cereal and noticed that there's even the same cereal piece sometimes have different shapes? I'm saying something like that happens, guys, in any location where we're consuming information or information being presented to us. Because when that happens, all of a sudden we're like, you what? Then, now we're vulnerable to a new thing getting built up. Think of it like, guys, our mental world operates and things just keep getting built up, and if nothing interrupts it or stops it, we just keep going. Our train just keeps marching forward. In Würzburg, Germany. So, what they try to do is they present an arbitrary positive or an arbitrary negative, or some kind of absurdity that temporarily interrupts us. Because if a repetition happens, I'm telling you guys, we end up going either negative or positive. It's just that simple. So the reason why they suggest things is because they're creating the victory conditions. If I never suggested to you that the daughter of the Grand Summoner, what I call my sexy Italian Latina Allegro, might bring me coffee in this mug by the right side of the fence today in the backyard, well, when I'm out there with my kid and my dog, I'm not going to even be on the lookout for her. All of a sudden, I might be even, I think, like World of Warcraft Nefarian, I might be facing the wall because I know my focus is what actually matters. And when I'm doing that, all of a sudden I hear her say, hey! I think Wind Waker, Ariel. She's like, hey! I'm like, whoa, wait, I recognize that voice. I'm like, oh, it's her. I'm like, whoa. See, she interrupted me. And now she got my attention, but I'm like, whoa. Hey, I didn't even know you were going to be here. You see, like, that moment means that we weren't seeking any outcome. Because we had already given up. Like, maybe a few days before that, I don't know, maybe my mom's like, hey, are you going to talk to that daughter of the Grand Summoner? That girl that you guys really get along. Maybe you could date her. Maybe you could restart your life. She likes to heal and she wants to build an organization with you, and she already understands your situation, so maybe good could come. I'm like, oh, interesting, Mom. Yeah. You see, I'm saying stuff like that, guys, is already where they start creating the victory condition. But if I'm like, nah, it just doesn't matter. She's not even a friend. I don't view her as anything. It's just everything's neutral. Nothing can come from this, nothing bad, nothing good. You see, if you don't let anything get built up, well then, you're not giving up because you failed to accomplish the victory condition. You gave up by choice. You gave up front. You gave up freely. When that happens, just so you guys know, that first segment was just explaining how I got to this. Because I was trying to understand how they were consuming me. I was trying to understand how they were doing so, and now I understand. Is that I was so worried about not doing what they were suggesting, not creating the way they were suggesting, is they were seizing me. I was so focused on the how, the methods, the what, but actually what it is now I realize they were just making me focus on that they were creating the victory condition, because then if I would do and anything prevents creating something like that, I'm like, oh, that was a really good idea, creating something like that and doing something like that, then problems would happen. So you see, guys, what I'm trying to get you to realize is that what happens if my mom had successfully gotten me to believe I knew I gave up, or had already given up on, nope, I can't date my Italian Latino-led girl, the daughter of the Grand Summoner. I can't date her. She's gonna bring me coffee and do that. I can't. There's no way. What if I was operating that way? Yet they managed to find a way to get, whenever they put those thoughts populate in my head, I'm like, nope. So I'm safe. But then my mom presented suggestions to me. My mom created the path for me. And I'm like, yeah. You see, like, she talked about we're compatible. She talked about all these things. You guys get what I'm trying to say? So when that happens, that means something else created the victory condition for you. What I'm realizing now, guys, is that for the first time ever, I've already had this view, but not as extreme as I do now. Because before, just so people understand, the view that I have is that giving up is actually a good thing. I only would reach that state of giving up when in response, because hear what I'm saying, it was in response to you experienced so much bad and you just were always prevented that you reach a point where you're like, there's no other path left. And I'm telling you guys, it is the correct play. Because what happens when we reach that level? We finally do. I challenge all of you to explore this. If you reach a point where you've finally given up, then you can just do. Because it means that the consequences don't matter. The good doesn't even matter. You're just like, it just doesn't matter. I'm just going to do. Doesn't mean that we always will do. It doesn't mean that we always want to. But I'm just saying you can, because you've actually given up. But what I'm realizing, guys, is that it gets weaponized against us because they make us give up, not by choice. That's why all of us view it as a bad thing, because you guys see, we all end up changing our storylines, and we all end up doing, and we all end up actually making modifications to things. And we don't understand why and when. And I'm saying it's usually because they make us give up. And when we give up, we temporarily have created space. We temporarily created space for freedom to be present. And when freedom is present, now we can just do. Because you see, what was confining us, what was preventing us, what was holding us back, and whatever it was is now not present, is gone. So now we can just do. What I'm saying, guys, is that they create the timing of that, and they pre-season so that then our response to what the space that gets created, the freedom that gets created to make us finally do, because of everything that's been presented to us in the path that they built up, the train, they laid out the tracks, the railroad, that then what we actually do isn't our choice, it's a guarantee based on what's been presented. So you guys see, what I'm trying to get all of you to finally piece together, including myself, is that one of the coolest ways of how the world operates when they want us to change our storyline, if they can't get us to do through positives, because usually for most of us, if I can present enough positives, you leave, is that they actually make us give up, but not by choice. It's a timed, complete destruction event where we just are experiencing prevented everywhere, and we just give up, give up, give up, give up. So then we do. Then what we do their way, we do their timing, and whatever happens now is going to be extremely close to what they intended. Not always. There are some risks. You guys see, they do prefer that we can do when we're not giving up. Right? It's a lot easier to control us then, because there's no freedom present. But if we don't do anymore, guys, I'm telling you guys, the way they can get us to do is by creating a give up situation that we don't choose. I'm telling you guys, this is the answer. So how they can do that is they create the victory condition and then they prevent it. But you see, it has to be built up first. It has to be built up first. If there's no victory condition that got created for a specific thing, because there's no point of comparison, well, then you're free. So how do we succeed when something successfully managed to build up a victory condition for us despite our choosing? I'm saying, guys, we have to give up by choice even more drastically. Like, it's so sad, just so people are aware, because it means that most things are just not going to be experienced the same way anymore, and that's fine. It's not ideal, but there's nothing you can do. You have to just give up, because when we give up, do you guys get it? It just doesn't matter anymore. You see, like, the way I talk about all this knowledge, most people are not going to follow along today, and that's fine. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is that earlier, they were trying to make me start creating things again in such a way that was sharing knowledge that could actually be, not to be rude to people, but I just want people to understand, they wanted me to dumb things down. Like, why don't we just become more of a motivational speaker again? I'm really damn good at that if I chose to, but I feel like it's not the answer anymore, because it's just what it is. It's just a temporary path. It doesn't break down the answers. It might have answers sprinkled throughout, but it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient. It makes you temporarily feel good, but what ends up happening is that I can just interrupt you whenever you're going to present negatives, and then nothing will happen, which means you have to reconsume something, and that's good. But it doesn't destroy it. You see, guys, it doesn't destroy the fences that got created. It just tells us, hey, they're going to tell you to go to the right side of the fence. Don't. Stay right here in the middle. That's what motivational speaking and the path that they were encouraging me to talk about, of how to explain knowledge and how to heal, was, just so people are aware. It's powerful, because for most people, they always go to the right side of the fence. So just telling them to stay in the middle and don't even pay attention to the girl that's going to walk by is extremely powerful. But it's not enough. Because what does it mean? It means that if at any point I'm not there, or they're not listening to my voice, or I'm not reconsuming my own thing, that then it begins again. Which means that they now would be enslaved to listening to my voice, or else they're going to give up. Not by choice, but when something else decides, because they don't understand what's happening and when it's happening. Something else is dictating what they should do, how they should do so, and if they ever deviate, they present negatives, and if they ever deviate again from that, then they're going to start creating the victory conditions for them. So let's say that happened. Let's say that my mom actually succeeded in creating a victory condition for myself. Or in myself, I just think that, like, if the spiritual entities successfully managed to create victory conditions for myself in either a video game that I'm designing, my stream talk, or the video games I play. On how because I make things significantly more challenging, because I've just realized the world just operates at a level that's far too easy. Everything's too simple. Remember what I said, guys? Thinking protects us. That even just a little bit of complexity where we have to just be like, wait a minute. That causes a moment of protection. So that, because what you guys are going to realize, if you just do something that you've already mastered and you don't have to think about it, that all of a sudden I'm telling you guys, you're going to be able to see it eventually. You take a step back and, whoa, look at that. All these thoughts just got put into my head. Boom, 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 boom. The way you can protect yourself if that happens, all of a sudden, like, wait, guys, do you hear that? Do you hear the music? Or like add a new, or play a different song, and then you're like, whoa, what? You guys see that you're just completely changing something. And you're like, whoa, they just inserted like 10 things, and all of them were positive, but wait, what? That's why we need to always be thinking. So I'm telling you guys that it was pissing me off, because in the experiences that I was doing, that I was creating, they were suggesting things to me, and many times, most of the time, like I said, guys, they were positive things. I was like, what is going on? But they were creating victory conditions. Even it doesn't matter if it was for that same thing or for something else that I want to do at a later point, but they were creating victory conditions. They were also temporarily taking over my focus, but they were also, the only reason why it had an effect was because I already had made it further. Do you guys understand? They put the TG banner, my World of Warcraft guild, they stabbed it at the 85% point. So I saw what I'm capable of, I saw the victory in the distance, I knew how things could be, and I'm like, wow. I'm telling you guys, the first time when there was no banner that was stabbed into the ground, I was protected. But then once they stabbed the banner in the ground, all they need is a moment of interruption, a quiet respite to buy them some time. If they can do that, I'm telling you guys, they start creating the victory condition, and then it's over. So if they succeeded, so for you guys, you think your mom telling you, oh, that girl, or by the fence, or for myself, like my video games that I create, my stream talks, or the video game experiences that I play. So all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what can I do? How can I be protected? I don't want to always just give up completely. What do I mean by give up completely? Which is, you just say, that's it. I'm going to throw in the towel. It's over. I need to just completely deviate. Because remember what I said, guys. What does giving up actually create? And we're going to get into all the other things afterwards. What does giving up actually create? It creates freedom. Freedom to actually finally do That's what giving up actually is. Because you just say, all right, no more of the old. I don't care anymore. All right, now what? At no point are we saying it's good or bad. You're just free to finally do. Then you take a step, but most people take the step the way they've been seasoned, the way things have been presented to them, the way they've been guided. So I'm saying that I've always essentially, even though I'm aware of this knowledge, that I knew once things got built up sufficiently that the solution is always just unplug and do something else. I'm telling you guys, that solution will never not be the solution. It works. But do you guys see, that means that you didn't give up by choice. You gave up because they made you. Which is the first step in not only weakening your shield that you have, but it's also the first step in frustrating you, but it's also the first step in now creating a repeatable negative consumption path. Because now, do you guys understand? You're like, all right, let's try this again. Regardless of what you all think, you are going to get reminded that, hey, last time you did this, you failed here. Last time you did this, there was negatives present here. Last time you did this, remember at the 85% point when you got close to victory, all of a sudden you started presenting mental thoughts and then you made a mistake because your focus got deviated, you made an execution error that was harmless but still, and then you got really frustrated and you yelled and you unplugged. Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you guys understand that if they can continually get us to give up, not by choice, but when they decide the timing, doesn't matter if we walk, just so you guys know, the next step you might walk might even be a better path, might even have better things, might even result in excellent things. But what I'm saying, guys, is that you only got to that because they forced you to give up. And then they planted the exact things they wanted so that you then do what they intend. Not always for bad, but what I'm trying to get you all to realize is that it means that now when we start walking that next path, we're extremely vulnerable to now seeking an end outcome again. Because we just came from a situation where that got prevented. So now we're like, yeah, I would like for this next thing to actually succeed. That would be nice. Do you guys understand? If I can control when things fail by creating the victory conditions, presenting the suggestions, and then I can prevent them over and over again through whatever harmless means, frustrated to the point where you finally decide to give up. So you see, most of us think giving up is just we literally have zero faith in the world and everything is bad. Like we're literally about to get like destroyed. Like there's just a spear dude that has a spear right at our neck. Like it's about to. All right. I'll change it. I'll change how I operate. Most people think it's like that. I'm saying it's not. It's just whatever got created. If we just think that now there's just no way anymore, and it just temporarily feels like that, then we're going to give up, not by choice. I'm saying that we actually create giving up for most of us. I actually believe now that I look back on my life just temporarily, I think throughout my entire life, any moment when I did, I had given up. But I'm saying every single time until recently, all my give up moments were fabricated by them. I didn't give up because of my own choosing. I gave up because they created situations that I had no other choice. I'm telling you guys, I literally can think about every single situation where I changed my story. I'm like, holy shit. Most of the time, they created the give up situations for myself. In almost everything. And I'm saying, guys, that's how they do it to everyone. They create the give up situations. Holy fuck. Because what it actually allows us to do is when we have given up. We won't change. We won't deviate. We won't modify our behavior. We won't modify our approach, guys, until we've given up on something. It's just that simple. I'm telling you guys, you can fight me on this one. It's binary. Test it, explore this. You won't change how you operate or what you do until you've given up on something. You won't. Once you've given up, you're willing to make concessions. You're willing to make changes. You're willing to even not do something. You're willing to completely move something to the side. But you have to give up on something. If you haven't given up on something, you won't. Why do you think they want to control when we give up? Because then what we do next. Because I'm saying, guys, the greatest fear for the things that write the stories of this world, the grand narrative, is that whenever we are free, that we are operating with nothing pre-seasoned, nothing inserted into us. That means that we are actually fully free. Think of it like a rebellion happened in the empire countryside. Like there's farms and castles and stuff like that, guys. All right, I'm thinking Alameda. We finally liberate a location that's been enslaved by the empire for 20 years. And when we do so, for the first time ever, guys, people can now make their own choices. But what we don't understand is that all their choices that are going to happen once they're free are going to be dictated and guided by the things that they've experienced and the seasoning that has happened, unless they're actually fully free. You see, most people reach a level of point of freedom not by their own choosing or by their own action. Something else granted that to them. I'm saying most of them had to give up. They had to give up on the old storyline. Do you guys understand? If they were being enslaved by the empire, like literally being whipped and shackled, if all of a sudden I remove the empire for you, that means that I forced you to give up on your slave story. Do you guys get it? I forced you to give up on your slave story. I'm not saying that's not a good thing. That's a great thing. They were enslaved to the empire, but something else freed them. Something else liberated them. That means something else temporarily made them give up on the storyline. Because I'm saying, guys, even if you become free, you gave up on that storyline. It was a negative storyline, but you gave up on it. All right. So we gave up on Alamigo. That's the countryside that got liberated from the empire. So all of a sudden you're like, whoa. See, most of them didn't choose to give up. The situation got created for them. So then now the way they operate and what they intend to do and what they're going to do next is guided. It's not a question mark. It's not, well, what are they going to do? Where are they going to go? Who are they going to talk to? How are they going to operate? All those things are known. So it's the first time they're ever free. They haven't been free, let's just say in this fantasy world, Final Fantasy, in 20 years. And it's the first time they're free. Yet I'm saying, guys, they're not. Because the situation happened to them, but they were getting pre-seasoned the entire time. So then now that they're finally free, there's a moment of freedom, right? But that moment of freedom is completely guided. So that all that guidance immediately shackles them, enslaves them again. So now they're a known variable. They're going to do exactly what has been presented to them based on all the things they've experienced, based on the suggestions. So you guys see, that means that they're a known variable. It's planned. If they had broken free, if they chose to join the rebellion by themselves and participated, do you guys understand that means that when the moment of freedom happens, it was based on their own choosing. There was no victory condition that got created for them. They created it. telling you guys, it's fascinating. It's so complex. But what I'm realizing, what is the actual answer? We just have to give up. Not when they decide, but when we decide. I know I've reached this level a few times, but I'm starting to realize that it's become drastic. It's become extreme. Because what I'm saying, guys, is that it was making me respond. It was a correct response. I don't regret how I responded, but it was making me be extreme. I was like, well, if you are going to prevent me, if you're going to cause negatives, you're going to cause bad, if you're going to try to force, if you're going to force me to give up when you choose, I'm not going to do what you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm now going to refuse to operate. And that's the correct answer. So it means that I didn't let them write my story. You guys see, I wasn't enjoying, I wasn't thriving, I wasn't experiencing, I was intentionally rebelling now. Still, if you let them succeed, do you guys understand? If you let them succeed in temporarily re-enslaving you because they made you give up, not by your choosing, but by force, you need to rebel at all costs, just so people are aware. There's no other option. But what ends up happening is that, I'm telling you guys, it's not freedom anymore. It's not. You're not free, even if you're rebelling. You're still responding. I'm choosing this rebellious act in response to their prevention, to them making me have to give up out of protection. I'm not choosing because I was simply walking forward. I'm responding to them. So the answer is we just have to care even less about experiences. You guys understand how sad that is? Because there's so many things that we all do day by day for positives, for creation, for thinking, for exploration, for learning. And I'm saying, guys, we just can't grade ourselves anymore whatsoever. Zero. It just is completely and utterly irrelevant. There's going to be things that we know we are so capable in, and we're just going to have what I call a mediocre experience. What does that mean? It means that, you see, how could we even know that? How could we even know that? Because we know what we're capable of. We know what we can achieve. That means that we're not even getting to the point where they built up things. We didn't even let them create a victory condition for us. We just know what we can do. But you guys see on everything we've experienced. And that's the danger of it. And that one, by the way, guys, there's nothing we can do. Because unless you just literally get amnesia because you're an RPG character, like think like Tales of the Abyss or something like that, or any Super Nintendo game. Like you just wake up your character and you're like, whoa, who am I? Like, if that happens, guys, then it's fine. You guys see, because there's no victory condition built up. But I'm saying, we know now what we can achieve because of every single thing we've experienced our entire life, guys. We know our capability. I'm saying if you defeat it, if you actually understand how to heal, and now you know what voices are wrong and what's correct, you know what you're capable of regardless. So you see, I'm not even saying you're listening to the wrong voices. You just know now what you can achieve. You know that you're amazing. You know that you're good. You know that you're incredible. You know what you know what you're doing. I'm trying to get you all to realize, including myself. We know what we're doing. Which means that we can create incredible experiences. But doesn't that mean that there now is, even without anything being suggested to us, that there is a victory condition present? You guys see why it's so dangerous? Because those are things that they actually target. Those are things that they actually are stabbing us with. Because if it's an area where we don't think anything is possible, if it's an area where we don't think we're capable, if it's an area that we just don't care about whatsoever, because we've really given up on it, or we just realize it's not that valuable. You guys see they can't really build up a victory condition. They might try, but it doesn't really do anything to you anymore. Like, oh, it's fine, not a big deal. But the areas that we know we can achieve in, those are the ones that they target. They build up a victory condition because they suggest things that bring back recency to us of what we're capable of and what we can achieve. That's what they actually do. Is now what I'm realizing is the suggestions that they present. Like I said, I always was like, they are good ideas. I know I probably shouldn't create the way. I could. I shouldn't always do so, but I could. But I'm like, what is it actually that's doing? And it's like, they create the victory conditions because they already know what we're capable of those areas. So they create the victory conditions there. So then they can prevent those. You can never let them create the point of comparison, the point of reference, like, well, this is what you can achieve. You know you can achieve this. And then it's like, they put like a little pin there. I called it the TG banner. If they can do that, I'm telling you guys, now they have a referenceable point where they can just create blockades and prevent over and over again, and it's over. So what is the solution? We have to give up by choice. It means that all those experiences are just, they're not going to be as good. They're just not. I know I touched upon this months ago, but I'm back again because that means that they successfully managed to bring it back. That's proof, guys, that this is the answer. I didn't get to this complexity last time. I didn't decipher it this way last time. It's the same concept, but this time I feel like I am actually seeing what it is, how they're doing it. We have to give up. We have to. Every single thing. I didn't understand that giving up creates freedom. And that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to take a break here, get more coffee, and then I'm going to talk about these things now in a different way now that I've scrambled myself. But I've already given all the answers in this first segment. I'm telling you guys, the answer is you have to give up on every single thing by choice. Because the moment you do, it just doesn't matter. I don't need anything from this. It's not going to be a good experience. It's not going to be bad. It's nothing. It's irrelevant. Nothing. The moment that happens, you will catch the moment that, you can do this, you can do this. You see, they target things that we want to preserve, that we know matter to us, that are important to us, because we have so little now. That, well, these are the areas that I want to make sure are good. These things still matter to me. These things still matter to me. So you see, those are the things they target because they want us to give up on them of their choosing. So then, if it can be through a negative, now they can start the paths that they want. I'm telling you guys, you just have to give up by choice. Because then, for the first time ever, you can just do. Sometimes you guys wonder why you can just do freely. Like, why am I just able to do right now? It's because something made you give up. Something made you give up, and you didn't realize it. And it could be just you had planned, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and E, and F. I'm going to write an A, B, C, D, E, F, sorry. And all of a sudden, you're about to start writing, you realize, wait, my pencil's gone. When that moment happens, do you guys see? It means you have to give up. When you give up, now you're free. And that is when we can just do. So I'm going to get more coffee, and we're going to get started on talking about this now a different way. That was the complex version of it for myself. Now I'm going to talk about it in a little more simpler way, but just specific bullet points that I wanted to touch upon. All right, 1 minute break. All right. So let's talk about this differently. This is a topic that most of us would never want to explore, including myself, my old version of myself, and even my current version. It's just, I talk about it as the answer, but it's not necessarily fun. Giving up? Really? That's what you want to talk about? Like, what? No, let's not give up. We can still try. There's still hope. There has to be a way. There has to be something we can do. There has to be. And you're right. There is. There's something. You guys understand? There's always something. Always. And even if we think there's nothing, we can try something and we can almost make it be something. You guys get it? There's always a way. There's always a way. It doesn't mean that it's going to result in an outcome, but there's always something. So what I'm telling you guys is that I used to be one of the biggest proponents and believers that giving up is just the wrong answer, because we can always do something. And I'm correct, by the way. You can always do something. You can always mitigate. You can always minimize. You can always make things better. It's possible. Not only is it possible, it's real. But what you guys understand is that means that if you keep fighting, 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 that they can create this situation where we give up, not by our choosing. We are just forced to, because there's nothing else that we can do. And that is when problems happen, because remember what I said, guys, our freedom now isn't chosen by us. So, I ask all of you, why do you think giving up is a bad thing? Why do we think giving up is a bad thing? I challenge each and every one of you to think about this. Almost all of us, from the day we were born, view giving up as bad. What could that make us do or not do? Wouldn't it make us avoid something? If it's a bad thing, do you guys get it? Avoiding it is good. That's the correct play. What if it's a bad thing if it happens at the wrong time? Yet, if it happens at of the timing of our choosing, it's a good thing. So you're like, whoa, yeah, I mean, maybe, but how can we? You guys see, all of a sudden then, it might not be a bad thing. If I knew that whatever this thing is creates temporary freedom of choice, of an ability and a capability to just now do anything, because there's no shackles, binds, chains, or strings holding us back. If I knew that this thing creates that in any individual, wouldn't I want to make sure that there's only happens precisely when I intend, knowing what they've experienced, especially more recently. So then when something does happen, when they are free temporarily, they operate the way I intend, not the way they choose. Because think about the amount of power, whatever this thing is, guys, whatever concept or idea this is, if it really lets anyone just be temporarily completely free to do whatever they want without limitations, at no point for bad, well, that's true power. Wouldn't I want to keep that closely guarded to my chest to make sure that no one figures this out? Because if they did, and they want to create a repeatable path to reach a state of this feeling on demand, so then they can be free temporarily to just do, wouldn't that mean that now I can never write their story again the way I intend? Doesn't mean that I can't still cause preventions. Doesn't still mean that I can't deviate them or guide them. But it means that I can now never ensure that when they now operate freely, that they operate the way I intend. That's extremely dangerous. You guys get it? Because that means that if I ever create now a situation that makes you be free, I have to be extremely wary and cautious, because it means that you are going to be the one that gets to decide. If you know this, maybe I should make sure that you're never free then, again. Maybe I should never let you give up anymore. Maybe I should always just make you feel like it's just possible, just possible enough. Just give you enough breadcrumbs where things start looking a bit negative, but it never gets completely negative. So you never actually give up. Because I don't want you to be free, because I don't know how you're going to respond or what you're going to do next then. But I don't want you to give up, because I know that if you do give up, you're going to be free. And then you can choose. So you guys see, then it's going to be a careful balance of scale, seesaw. If you can choose. Yeah. So do you guys see that? Is giving up actually a bad thing then? If that's what this feeling is, if that's what this power is, could giving up actually be what creates freedom? If so, is it actually a bad thing? At the wrong time, yes. Because if we're actually operating freely without a need for an end outcome, and we just are doing, and nothing is shackling us and nothing is preventing us, well, if all of a sudden that's the case, and then all of a sudden we give up, well, you guys see, that's a bad thing then, because it means we were thriving, we were doing well, nothing was stopping us, we didn't think anything could prevent us, and then all of a sudden now we do. We see, that's a problem then. You see, then giving up becomes a bad thing. So you see, there's complexity, there's nuance here. Because most people are like, no, giving up's just bad. And I'm like, it doesn't mean that it's not at the wrong time. But at the correct time, giving up is actually a really good thing. Because it is what allows us to finally do. So I painted in the light of, when we do so, when we give up, it creates space. And that space is what allows us to do. Think of it like this, guys. Because right now, I still have some cereal in this mug. I don't know if you, or this bowl. I don't know if you guys can see this. All right. All right. Now I have space in this bowl. It's empty, or almost empty. Doesn't really matter. All right, guys. So now I can put things in there. Now I can decide what goes in there next. If that cereal bowl, if I wasn't allowed to spill it, pour it out, and I'm forced to eat whatever's in the bowl, or else I can never put something else in there. And I'm operating under a rule system that I only have one bowl. Do you guys get what that means? It means that I'm now presented in a situation where, well, what if I don't want to eat the cereal right now? What if I'm not hungry? Or what if I've only had cereal over and over again? And I'm like, I want something different. Or I want, actually, right now it would be really nice to make my Mexican dish, queso con salsa, cheese with sauce. Or it'd be really nice to have like my oatmeal Star Diplomat progress meal that I make for myself. But I can't because there's still cereal in my bowl. So you guys see that I have a choice. Either I eat the cereal or I have to give up on eating the Mexican dish, queso con salsa, or the Star Diplomat progress meal with oats and all that stuff. You see, guys, I would be forced to give up on those paths, on those storylines, which then now creates freedom. I'm like, all right, well, I can't have those. What do? I either eat it and I'm not allowed to spill it. But you guys see, those are my options. Like, do I eat it or I think that all I can do is eat, but I'm like, no, I don't want to eat it. So if I give up, guys, if I now give up on it, I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I could literally just spill it. Who cares? Like, you're gonna get punished. It doesn't matter. Wait, really? I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get punished. I just know that they implied or said that I will. All right, and you just spill it. You're like, uh-oh. Well, let's see what happens. Well, I managed to make my new meal, and I'm eating it, and nothing bad has happened yet. Maybe I should clean up the spill that I made. Do you guys get what that example is exemplifying? Is that we had to create space for something. That space now means that it can be filled. And when it can be filled, we can now do. Because now we're free to put whatever we want in the bowl. But you guys see that what they do is they create the rules, they create the positives, and they create the negatives so that we can't. And they make us give up on everything else, not by our choosing, but on their timing. So if all of a sudden right now, let's say that the daughter of the Grand Summoner, that sexy coffee girl, walks by with her croissant, and she's like, hey, I would like to have a breakfast with you. I would like to I have this croissant meal that I make. I break the croissants in pieces and I put them in a bowl and then I add them in a little salsa. I'm like, whoa, yeah. She's like, would you like to have that with me? And you're like, yes. She's like, all right, where's your bowl? And you're like, oh. And you grab your bowl and she's like, it looks like you already have cereal in there. Yeah. Sorry about that. Do you guys get it? There's no space. So now you have to give up on things by choice. That was a good test. So, you see, now you can't do. We're going to keep moving forward. Why? Just so people are aware. Because this part is complex. So, I don't want to focus on explaining it too much with the cereal bowl example. But what I wanted is to make people start understanding that space is the most important thing. Space is the most important thing. It creates openings. If there's no openings, then we can't do anything. And they want to make sure that the openings happen on their timing of their choosing, not when we choose. All right? If you can make the opening happen when you choose, then there's nothing they can do. So let's begin by analyzing if there's a difference between saying I give up versus actually giving up. What I just did, guys, just so you know, is an example of what I just said. Right now, I am what I call under attack. They're doing all the things that I talked about in the first hour and 30 minutes of this stream. Everything, just so you guys know, it's happening mentally. And this is what happens to all of us, but we don't understand that it's something. It's a force that we can't conceptualize. So I'm saying, guys, is that I was under attack, and I realized that I said I was going to give up, but you guys see, I haven't. That's dangerous. That's dangerous, because what does that actually mean? It means that I'm vulnerable now. I'm telling all of you is that 99.9% of the entire world operates this way. We say that we've given up on something, but I promise all of you, you all haven't. You say you have, but you haven't. They made you give up on their timing. You didn't give up by choice, but then you all say that you gave up by choice. So how you can test is if you've actually given up, guys, you can just move on. If you've actually given up on something, you can just move on because you're free. You guys get it? If you've given up on something, you can just move on because you're free. And this is every single thing. You're like, all right, that's it. It's over. Like, for example, for myself, there's so many things, like I'm telling you guys, I could practice it in just random video game experiences that I'm doing. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to complete it. It doesn't even matter anymore. I know what I can achieve. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can create. I know what I can do. I'm like, that's it. It's over. Next. People are like, what? I'm like, yep, that's it. You guys see, that is actually giving up, because you see, now there's freedom present. Like, that doesn't matter. Now there's freedom present. You guys see, because what I'm trying to get you guys to realize is that if you actually are giving up, if you actually gave up, you created space for yourself, and now you can just do. I'm telling all of you, if you can't do, it means you haven't given up. If you can't do, it means you haven't given up. If you can't do, it means you haven't given up. If you still value an experience, or you still care about things, it means that you haven't given up. So you guys see, we are all baited and created from day one to equate giving up as a bad thing. But then we say overtly that we have on things because we don't want to make it seem like we just gave up because we don't understand or we can't achieve. We just say, yeah, I've given up on that. It doesn't matter. I'm saying it does matter. For all of you. It's how they have you permanently, perpetually enslaved. All of you. You guys care about these things that they built up for all of you. They created the victory conditions for you. They created the 85% point. I'm thinking Elden Ring. This is the Ancestral Spirit Stag encounter. Or my Final Fantasy 14 healing duties that I create situations in. I'm telling you guys, I create such incredible experiences, or even like my RPG Maker, I create such incredible experiences that they're just, I can achieve so much, and I know that, but I haven't given up on them yet. And I'm telling you guys, it's a sad, sad day, but I just need to give up on all of them one by one. One by one, by one, by one. Because what you guys are going to realize is that you think that you have, I'm telling you, even I'm like, all right, I'm just going to give up, I'm just going to accomplish, I'm just going to do. But usually it's because I'm just trying to avoid corruption. It's still a correct play, but you guys see, I'm doing it in response. But now I'm like, all right, let's give up. then all of a sudden, some good starts happening. And I'm like, wait a minute, I can make it maybe a little easier, but I can still find a way to create something here, or I can still achieve something here. I'm telling you guys, any storyline that you're breaking free from because you've given up on it. I just think about myself, right? When my final medical sales job that I finally gave up on it, and I was finally free. I'm like, whoa, I could just do. I'm telling you guys, I wasn't constrained by anything. But then the moment that happened, I'm telling you, good was happening. A lot of good was happening because I was finally free. And when that happens, they're trying to re-enslave you. Do you guys understand it? It's that moment when they try to re-enslave you. Because now all of a sudden, when good is happening, you don't need an end outcome anymore. You're just operating freely. It's extremely dangerous because you gave up by choice, not because when they created it. I'm telling you guys, we say we've given up, but we haven't. Because then all of a sudden, when you start getting good, you're like, wait, well, you know what? We can try it a little bit again for a little more time. Let's see what happens. And then you get re-enslaved again. So, is there a difference between saying we go giving up and actually giving up? 100 million%. You need to fully give up. And when the positives start getting presented again, you immediately need to deviate. So now that I've painted it in this way, I ask all of you, could giving up be a good thing? At the beginning, we explored and analyzed if giving up is a bad thing. Is it? I'm saying we get built up, we get created to think that giving up is a bad thing. From day one, they make us think it's a bad thing, that we should avoid it, that it's horrible. And why? Because it's the thing that breaks us temporarily free. When we give up on whatever storyline we're doing, we're free. I just don't know how else to paint this to people, guys. If you give up on, I'm not going to eat cereal anymore, I can now eat whatever, I'm free. Do you guys understand? But if I'm like, I have to eat my cereal. If you give up on cereal, you can now have anything. But if you're chained and shackled to cereal, I can't do anything else. You guys get it? You have to give up on something to finally be free to do. If you can't do it, it's because you're shackled to things. You haven't given up on things, right? You guys get it? It's just that simple. So why would something intentionally want us to think giving up is a bad thing? Because then we will never be free. So we won't actually do. And when we are temporarily free is when they make us give up so that then they control the outcome. So if you guys now know that giving up, the action of giving up is what creates the space to do. Because you're saying whatever was created from the past doesn't matter, especially the good, but even the bad, it's all irrelevant. It's in that moment that you finally can just do. And I'm saying, guys, they don't want us to think that that moment is a good thing. They only want us to reach that point when we see no light, when we've given up by their choosing. We have to give up, because otherwise there's no hope. I have to give up. I have no other play. I have to try something right now because it's over. I'm about to lose. Oh, whoa, things finally happen. Whoa, things happen. Oh, we don't understand why that's the case. And I'm like, it's because they create that. They make sure that we can't do. And then when we finally can, it's because they made us give up. That's when we do. Do you guys understand? When we finally have given up, that's when we finally do. If we can control it, we win. So I ask you now, could giving up be a good thing? Could giving up be a good thing if we learn how to do so on demand when we choose, not when they choose? Not when we allow them to build up the positives or the negatives. Can we choose to give up preemptively right away? And if the moment things start getting built up, it just doesn't matter. We gotta give up. It's over. Nope. Sure, in a way, guys, do you understand? It means that most things that we experience, most things that we do are going to be worse. They're never going to be as good anymore. That's reality. But I'm telling all of you, could that be one of their baits? Is that we know what we're capable of. So I know I can achieve 99%. Not 100, but I can achieve 99. So won't I now not be satisfied with anything below? Like, let's just say we give ourselves a little leeway, but like anything below 90, just completely unacceptable. If I never got 90 once, won't I be satisfied with 85? If I've only been at 70, I'm like, well, I got 85 today? Whoa. Do you guys see what I'm trying to paint? Like, if we just give up, it doesn't even matter. I might only get 70 today. I might get 80 tomorrow. I might get 90 the next day. I might get 0 today. It just doesn't matter. At all. You guys see, yes, it creates openings. It creates space for us to perform better and to be our best because we don't care about anything. But in a way, guys, it means that if negatives are being presented or positives are being presented, either one, it means that the experience is just not going to be as good because we have to give up. We can be like, yeah, all right, that's it. You got to give up again. Every single time it starts happening, you just have to give up. Every single time it starts happening, you just give up. That's it. It's over. Got to give up. Got to give up. Got to give up. If you can continuously do that, not because they created it. People are like, well, aren't you responding to them? I'm like, no. You're not responding to them because what it is, you're just reminding yourself that I don't need anything. There doesn't have to be any outcome. There doesn't have to be any result. There doesn't have to be, I don't have to reach 95. I don't need to do any of that. And if they try to present negatives, be like, oh, we're going to ruin your experience. It doesn't matter because I don't even need an experience. Well, oh, but here, remember, you can create this and this, and it's going to be so good and so good. And like, nope, I don't care at all. You know what? I don't even need to do this ever again. They're like, what? No. Because see, then you're just free. But you have to be able to just choose every single day to give up by choice. You have to give up by choice. It's a good thing. Every time we give up, we're free. Every time we give up, we're free. Every time we give up, we're free. Say it with me. If I give up, I'm free. 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 There's nothing they can do. If you give up, there's nothing they can do. People are like, well, then nothing will be achieved, nothing will happen. Good. It means that you actually gave up. It means that you're not operating by saying, oh yeah, I gave up. No, you actually gave up. Good. If nothing happens, good. If nothing comes from this, good. If nothing results from this, even better. It's a good thing. Give up by choice. Give up by choice. Indoctrinate yourself with that over and over again. Every single thing you do, we're going to give up by choice, nonstop. One by one, we're going to keep practicing. We're going to be permanently free like this. If we just keep giving up, do you understand? If nothing matters anymore, if no result, what you guys call actual grades, like how good something is, bad or good, if it has zero relevance anymore, it destroys and ruins the entire world, which means that they have to change how everything operates. If everyone figures this out, that they just have to consistently give up by choice over and over again, they will be forced to change the world overnight. But you know what? It doesn't matter if they do or not. Because they're giving up and trying to change anything. My cereal bowl is empty. It's been empty for an extended period of time. It doesn't matter what gets put in there anymore. Because regardless of what does, there's no good that's going to come from this. There's no bad that's going to come from this. Nothing is going to result from this. But you know what will change? I will be free. I'll be protected. Because I'm just giving up on everything. Which means I can just do anything. At all. Doesn't matter what I do. I am a nobody. I am irrelevant. I've given up on everything. I can't achieve. I'm not capable of achieving. I'm not bad at anything. I'm not good at anything. Any suggestion? I've already given up on that. I'm like, I wish I could do that. I can't. Oh, you're presenting bad? Doesn't matter. I'm not trying to achieve anything. You guys see, if you're not trying to achieve anything, bad doesn't do anything, good doesn't do anything. If you've actually given up, guys, and that's that. I'm telling you, there's so many things that I've put so much value in. I'm like, because I don't have a lot anymore. Do you guys get it? I don't have a lot. So the experiences that bring me joy, that bring me happiness, that are what I consider my great positives, I protect them. You guys get it? I protect them because I get tortured. I experience so much negative that you only have one or two things left. You protect those, which means that you haven't given up on those areas. I'm saying if we now just give up on everything, you guys get how sad that is, but it's also the solution because that means we're completely free. I'm like, you know what? It just doesn't matter anymore. I don't want, what I think people don't understand is I don't want to operate this way. This is not the way I want the world to be. But I have now come to the conclusion that there is no other option. Because what ends up happening, guys, is that at no point are you going to intentionally try to ruin everything. At no point are you going to intentionally try to make every experience terrible. But what you guys don't understand is that as you start doing, you might start by trying your way that you know, but you're like, oh yeah, it's just not gonna happen. I already give up. They're like, you haven't even really tried. Keep trying. I'm like, no, there's no point. Do you guys understand? That means that there's not gonna be lessons. There's not gonna be a story. There's not gonna be a battle. There's not gonna be a back and forth. If there's any positive outcome that they try to stab a banner and like, oh wait, you can achieve this again. It can be an epic storyline. Nope. Or if they start presenting negatives, nope. Try. The moment you start seeing anything being built up, that's that. All right, let's just move on. Next. It's not gonna be easy. I'm already talking about this. I'm like, oh man, there's gonna be so many things that like, I'm just telling you guys specifically my stream talks, what I create, my healing knowledge, my video games that I play, that I make my own experiences, and the video game that I'm designing. I'm telling you guys all those things. I haven't given up on them yet. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to. And it's going to be fucking weird. Because they're all I have left. Because they forced me to give up on everything else. But you see, I thought so, but most of them, I took back control in those other areas. Just so you guys know, that's why I'm not destroyed. That's why they don't destroy me anymore through those, because they tried to make me give up on the girl path, on having another girl or another kid when they chose. And I'm like, nope, I'm giving up front. So you guys see, now I'm free, but see, that's why there's no urgency anymore. I don't need to do anything there. Doesn't mean that I still don't value, that I still don't try once in a while or attempt things, but I don't really see a path at all. I've given up on it. You guys see these other things, like my other positives that I have around me still. Like if I had the girl around me, guys, it would be different. It would be much harder to give up. Because that means that there's still things that I can impact directly. But I'm telling you guys, the solution still would be to give up. Even if she was right here next to me, I have to give up on her. The moment that happens, freedom is now present. The fence that we created is now destroyed, which means that now things can happen, good or bad. But now there's actual freedom. Now everyone's just responding based on what they've been seasoned, good and bad. But I'm telling you guys, we need to create freedom, and the only way to do so is to give up. So if they cause any bad, or if they start trying to suggest their positives to try to create my victory conditions, I'm telling you guys, I just need to give up. Even if there's things that I have valued or that I know could be incredible and fun. I'm telling you guys, I've played some games for a year now, almost a year, and I might just have to complete them. Like I made so much progress over an entire year. I'm saying I might have to make the same amount of progress in 1 year in the next week or next month. People are like, what? I'm like, yep, because I'm now not gonna prolong the life of things. I'm just gonna complete things because I've given up on making it a bigger experience. It doesn't mean I'm not going to try once, but if I see things, that's it. You guys see, like, I used to be someone who believed in progression and believed in modifying and believed in trying, but I'm telling you guys, it's not the answer, because then you're not free anymore. Until they change how reality operates, you just have to give up. I'm telling you guys, if we all give up collectively on every single thing that's currently happening in this world, there is nothing they can do. Why don't all of you want to reclaim control of the narrative and finally write the world's narrative for ourselves? Not let them ever have a say again. But you know what? That's not going to happen. It's just not. I've given up on that. So go ahead. Try to make me care about that again. Go ahead. I've given up. So, is giving up a good thing? If I tell you every action has a reaction, most people are like, well, yeah, duh, of course. I'm like, no. Think about it, guys. I want you guys to think of action as the result of the reaction. Because so many times, how we think about it, guys, is that the action creates the reaction. Right now, what I want you all to think about is, if we can deconstruct the Star Wars Galaxy's emulator, we can then attribute correctly to the action. Because what ends up happening, guys, is they falsely make us believe that specific actions are causing reactions. This is how they prevent us from giving up, because they make us think certain actions are what cause reactions. So then we keep doing things. We don't give up on things because we're like, look, some good is happening. Look, some good is happening. Look, see, I shouldn't give up. I can still try. I can modify. Modification equals corruption. I can modify 1%, 2% here. But I'm telling you guys, if you just give up, then there's nothing we can do. But how can we get to that? We have to start learning how to deconstruct things by just looking at the reaction to attribute what the action is. You see, we don't even think about action. We've given up on trying to decipher what the action is that causes the reaction. We are just focused on the reaction. So what is the reaction that we're looking at today? What we're exploring is freedom. What is creating the reaction of freedom? What is creating the reaction of space? What is that? What is creating the reaction of freedom, of space? The ability, the capability to just do, to just walk forward. What is that? What is that thing? What is that? I ask all of you. I mean, we've already talked about it extensively, but think about it right now, guys. Now that I've painted it in a different light, you guys see it even changes things when we think about it, when the phrasing is even different, when we think about it differently. Like, what reaction creates freedom and space in a location for us to just finally do? What is it? What is it? What action causes that reaction? But you see, the reaction is freedom and space to do. But what is the action then that creates that? Well, understanding, no. Understanding is not sufficient. Because, do you guys get it? If we're understands, you see how we're analyzing of what it's not. I'm like, well, understanding means that we're bound by things. It means that we can't conceptualize that things can be different. Well, I understand it operates as, so that means I'm fenced in. What if there was no understanding? Well, I guess then, if there was no understanding, then we would be free. Think about it like this, guys. If right now you guys don't understand English and I started speaking, ¿Sprechen Sie Deutsch? ¿O hablan español? ¿Pueden entender esto? Soy ne kake. you guys might have zero idea what I'm saying. You guys see, there's no understanding. So that means that if I also don't understand you, whoever's listening to this, and you start talking your language, couldn't you just essentially say anything? I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you should do bad. I'm not saying you should do good, but I'm saying, could you? So you see, you mean a lack of understanding? A lack of understanding could create freedom? A lack of understanding could create space? What is it, guys? What is it that actually is happening? If I know that you can't understand me, I'm trying to explain something to you, and you can't understand me because I'm speaking a different language. What actually is that moment? What is happening in that moment when all of a sudden I'm like, well, they don't understand. Okay. What is that, guys? What is that? It's called, we give up on trying to get the other person to understand what we're communicating. We will try maybe other methods. We will try other methods. We might try like pointing and stuff like that. But what if we just gave up completely? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go somewhere else. If they speak a different language and they can't understand us no matter what we try, don't we all give up? But you see, aren't we giving up? Are we giving up by choice? Or are we giving up because we're responding to discovering that they can't understand us? Do you guys see? I'm telling you, we always are giving up not by choice. We're giving up not by choice. We're giving up because we understand things, we learn things, we encounter things, we experience things. We now know what's capable. Like, I know, I've talked to people that did understand, and I talked to people who didn't. You just don't. I have to give up here. You guys get it? We're not giving up by choice. We're giving up based on knowledge. We're giving up based on what we understand, based on capability, knowing what we can achieve, and knowing what we've achieved before. So the reaction that is actually creating the freedom in the space is actually giving up. But you see, what is creating that space, this is us, is when we choose. Otherwise, the space is being created for us. I'm telling all of you. We can conceptualize it through, well, yeah, if they don't understand us, we give up on trying to communicate with them. So you see the reaction that creates the freedom in the space, because now we can just say whatever, we can do whatever around them, because they don't understand, is that we gave up on trying to get them to understand. But you see, when you can do whatever, I'm telling all of you guys, I'm like, all right, I won't understand anything you say to me right now, because you're speaking a different language. Let's say you're speaking Al-Bed. You guys are like, what language is that? It's a great language. I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? Are you going to harm me? Are you going to be bad toward me? Are you going to insult me? Are you going to try to speak like a beastling? Like, what are you going to do? Do you guys understand that it's when that moment happens, you start seeing inclination, you can start seeing that because there's freedom present, there's space present. And I'm telling you, most of you guys, if you gave up, when they control when you give up, it's based on how you've been seasoned and the recency and the path that you're on. So all of a sudden, you've given up on something. I just think about it for myself, like in a multiplayer game, but anything that's competition that we work with a team, when everyone is forced to give up temporarily, being made to, you can now see their inclination and the path that got built up in all of them. Because I'm telling you, some people choose to do bad. Some people choose to do bad. And I'm saying when that bad happens, I mean, just think about it like that, just so you guys think about it like I think of it like Last of Us or like zombies. That's reality too. Now it recontextualizes everything I've experienced in my entire life. It's people are made to give up. And when that happens, you can start seeing their inclination and the path that got built up in their seasoning. Because if they can't choose when to give up, they're made to give up at a specific time when they have the seasoning and the path present in them that makes them do specific actions. That's how they do it. I'm telling you guys, now it makes sense. I'm like, So when some bad happens, like for myself when I'm playing League of Legends, some bad things happen, and all of a sudden I can tell people give up. You can tell people's inclination, like, because they didn't choose to give up, they were forced to give up. But if they had given up from the beginning, do you guys see that means that the path and the inclination and the seasoning has no effect on them anymore? They're just always free and they can create space. So that's what it is. The people who start doing bad, it's because that was the path that you can literally test anyone's inclination. Create a give up situation. And you're like, whoa, you can test everyone's inclination like that. That's just one for my knowledge. But I'm telling you guys, if we don't understand, we're free, because then we give up. But we have to, if we just gave up front, that means if every interaction that we go into, if we gave up beforehand, you understand that means that there's complete freedom present, there's just space. If you don't let them build up or create anything, it means that there's freedom present. It means that there's space. And space is a void that can be filled. Now, what I do want everyone to be aware of is that once there is space, it means that space can be filled with negative things and bad things. That's reality. And especially if people aren't aware of their inclination, it's reality. But it still creates space and openings for the first time because there's freedom present. But that's why if we can get people to give up at random times, we can start creating more freedom, but we have to be careful. And that's what I'm saying. Each and every single one of us needs to learn how to give up by choice. So, do you guys understand now? Reaction. Now we can attribute correctly to the action. What is the reaction that creates freedom and space for us to do? Think about it all when you've actually done. It's when you gave up. It's when you gave up. So now that we can correctly attribute that giving up is what causes it, I ask all of you, wait, what lets us be free to do and just fill space? And remember what I said, guys, not for bad. It's based on your inclination, but it should only be for good. If giving up is what allows that, don't we all want to be free? Shouldn't we then just be giving up on everything up front? Shouldn't we always be like, I think about it like this. I'm not going to do this yet, but if I went outside right now and started interacting with people, if I just gave up on them up front, people are like, why are you giving up on me before we even had a chance to talk? I'm like, it's the answer. Because all of us get built up that we need a certain outcome, or we need to perform a certain way, or we need to deliver something, or we need to communicate something, or we need to achieve something, or we need to learn something. Like if we just gave up front in every single thing that we do, well, then we're free. That's the end. So, I ask this though to all of you, if that's the case, now that we've correctly identified what reaction allows us to do, if I say to you, I want you to give up, don't most of us equate that to not doing? Think about it. If I say, give up already, don't we all like, all right, then I'm just not going to do it. You're right, I should give up. Oh, now I'm free. Yeah. You see, most of us equate giving up to not doing. What if I told all of you, there was short moments throughout the stream where they were temporarily re-enslaving me to care about an end outcome, but I had to keep making myself give up. I'm telling you guys, throughout this, I know exactly when it was happening. I see how they do it now. It's not easy. What if I told all of you that this entire stream this entire talk, this entire 2 hours, has been Shepherd Star, the Star Diplomat, Fabian Chigoya, Von Casper, operating, having given up. You're like, what? This is you giving up? Yes, I've given up on everything. There's no outcome. There's no path forward. There is no future. There is nothing that can result from this. At all. I'm free to do whatever. I'm free to talk about whatever. But you guys see, they're like, well, then why don't you? Why don't you insult people? Why don't you say, like, stupid things? Why don't you just do... Bad guys means that you haven't given up. Now that I piece, when I hear this part, I'm like, holy shit. It makes sense now. Because I'm telling you guys, I say certain things that I'm like, hey guys, let's just all give up front. And then people usually respond with stupid stuff, generic, arbitrary things. And I'm telling you guys, it's because those people haven't given up. Because it matters to them. It got built up for them. They care about it. They need it. They need results. They need things because it's... Remember what I said, guys, the banner gets planted and it makes them think that they can achieve or makes them think that they're worth or something like that. So that's why they do that. Because they can't even conceptualize operating, giving up. For them, giving up means not doing. I'm saying, just give up. Giving up has nothing to do with doing or not doing. Giving up just means that you don't care about the result. You don't care about the grade. You don't care about an outcome. You don't care about the bad that gets presented, and you don't care about the good that gets presented. You don't have to achieve anything a specific way. You don't have to achieve anything a specific way. You're just doing. And if the moment you start seeing good or negatives getting presented, you're like, all right, that's that. Oh well. You guys see, you take away the variables and the levers that they can use to re-enslave you. If they try, if they don't allow you to create freely, just so you guys understand, if they don't allow you to create freely and to just operate within the space that you have, then you give up even further. That's it. Then you just move on. That's that. Because you're already operating having given up. But if they are, because what you guys understand is if they start presenting negatives or positives like that, they're trying to prevent you from giving up. They're trying to make you care again. They're trying to make you do things a certain way. They're trying to make you reach a certain outcome or prevent a certain outcome. So that they can create now the storyline again. Remember what I said, guys. They want to season you. They want to present things to create the inclination, the path. So then you think you can try again, and then they make you give up when they choose. So then you operate the way they choose. I'm telling you guys, if you just do this, it means that if they ever try to meddle and interfere in your methodology and your tactics, your approach, that's it. You take away the battle. You take away the conflict. You take away the war. You take away the story. There is none. But you guys see, you're still doing. Because that's what people need to get to. Giving up does not mean not doing. Giving up just means that there's no grade, there's no result that needs to happen. The grade based on the result is irrelevant. The outcome, how it's achieved, is irrelevant. Of course you want to try to make it good. Of course you want to try to make it be fun and a learning lesson. But I'm telling you guys, the moment there's any negatives being presented or they're trying to create specific positives to make you think that you can achieve it a certain way, an incredible, absolutely incredible story way, sure, that'd be great. But you guys are saying you can't because then that means that now they can prevent it. It's just like, all right, you guys want to do that? I would create my way, but if you guys are going to do that, that's that. You give up. It's over. You take away every storyline that they start trying. The moment they start trying, you take it away. The moment they start trying, you give up. The moment they start trying, you give up. The moment they start trying, you give up. This is the only answer left. I'm telling all of you, I have tried everything. And because they refuse to allow our way to succeed, the only answer is to give up. we now prevent them even more than they will ever be able to prevent us. This is the only answer left. It's not evil, it's not revenge, it's just the only solution. Unless they change how reality operates, we all must give up, operate, and walk every single second on this earth by being in a perpetual state of only having given up, which means the result and the outcome is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if it's good, it doesn't matter if it's bad. The moment something tries to prevent us, or the moment something tries to make us think we can achieve a certain way, that's it, it's over. We give up. Then what? There will never be a story again, because you don't allow for it. You only will operate if there's freedom and if there's space. If there isn't, there will be zero operating. So I ask all of you, is giving up different than doing nothing? No. Yes, it is. That's what I meant. You can still do and operate when you give up. You can still do and operate. You should learn how to be, you must decipher this, guys. Give up on everything. But you can now then just do freely. So I ask all of you, if we don't believe anything is possible, doesn't that mean we can now just finally do whatever we want? I don't even think I can take one step outside. It's just, I've given up. I'm trying to. Well, I could try then. You see, like most people call it, you have nothing to lose. But they only reach that level when something else creates that level for them. Do you guys get it? When people talk about, oh, when you have nothing to lose, I'm saying that's the state of giving up. It's freedom. It's when we can actually do. But it's because we think nothing's possible. Can we create that for ourselves? But we can't allow them to create it for us, because I'm saying, guys, if they create it for us, it's timed and it's planned based on what we've been experiencing, so that our inclination and what we will do next is guided. If we choose to give up when we decide, and it should be permanent, perpetual, the moment we notice anything, like that's it, give up. Every single thing we try, we should be operating from a state of giving up. So there's just freedom and space. That means that if any good happens, I'm like, whoa, good happened, yay! If I take one step outside, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't think it's possible. And I do, oh, what? I actually took a step outside. Whoa, I just took a step outside. Oh my gosh, I took a step outside. And nothing bad happened? Whoa, that's so cool. Do you guys understand? There's no expectation. You've given up. But now they're like, see? You see, the moment that happens, though, they're going to start making you think it's possible. And I'm saying, nope. Then you go back inside and you're like, yeah, I don't think it's possible outside again. You have to operate permanently, perpetually, in a state of having given up on everything. It's the only answer left. There can be no good. There can be no bad. There is no story. There is no outcome. There is no grade. There is no result. There is no methodology. There is no approach. There are nothing. We operate in a perpetual state of nothingness, fully having given up. And we're still doing. People are just like, what? This doesn't make any sense. It is the answer. Because if you believe something is not possible, you took a step outside and now it's like, oh, it is possible. It is possible. We can do something out there. I'm telling you guys, the moment that happens, then they're like, aha, they grab that and they start building it up, and then they stab the banner into the ground after they built you up. And then, now that you think it's possible again, now they're going to start creating negatives to prevent you. And that is how they do it. I'm telling you guys, you're like, oh, you have to be able to operate the same regardless. And if you start seeing them trying to build something up, or they start trying to build up negatives, either one, you're like, all right, that's that. Can I go outside right now? Yeah. Can I also not? Again for a week? Yep. People are like, but what? No, now it's possible. No. You have to always operate in a way that it's just not possible. It's just not possible. Because then you're just free to do anything. Yeah, I can't achieve anything. Well, then I can talk about anything. No one watches my stuff. No one listens to me. I'm a nobody. I can't achieve anything. I'm not good at this. I'm not bad at this. I just do. I think I know what I'm doing, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not grading my result. I've given up on any change. People are like, you're causing change. You're not causing any change. Oh, doesn't matter? Nope. So I can just talk about anything. I can just do anything. But you guys see, what if all of a sudden then I'm like, I start talking about things that are maybe more controversial or things that are maybe more harmless, more grounded. And because of that, I start getting results or negatives, either one. You guys see, that's the moment that they grab that and they try to create the standard, the point of comparison. You can't allow them to do that. I'm telling you guys. That's why it's almost impossible to remain free. I would actually say it's literally impossible. You have to break free every single day, every single hour, for every single activity. It's not a non-stop battle. It never ends. Because the moment you break free, I'm telling you guys, the moment you do, they start trying to re-enslave you. The exact moment you break free. Because you're never supposed to operate freely, because it means that they can't control the story anymore. They choose when we give anything so that we can operate freely temporarily, but the way they crafted us. You're never supposed to be able to just give up on demand when you choose. I'm like, oh, all right, give up right now. All right, now let's do it. All right, do you guys get it? That's not how it's supposed to be. You can't be tied to outcomes. You can't be tied to outcomes. Outcomes are irrelevant. Say it with me. Outcomes are irrelevant. Outcomes are irrelevant. Practice in every single thing you do today from this point forward. No outcome needs to happen. If you try and things just don't result, doesn't matter. All right, that's it. It's over. There won't be any problems. There's not going to be any good. There's not going to be any bad. That's it. It's over. People are like, you can try again tomorrow. Nope, that's it. It's over. It's over. That's it. I've given up. There's no negative. There's no positive. I'm not giving up in front. I'm just giving up front. I should have already given up front, but you just try. You're just doing it. You all right? Doesn't mean, see, that's the part I guess that I was trying to decipher. I'm like, does that mean that if we make things easier, if we just move forward, does that mean that we're responding to them? Like, no, it's the correct play. You have to. If you see good or negatives happening, you just have to be like, all right, that's that. Finish the storyline. It's over. That's that. You give up on it. I'm telling all of you, it's not the way I want this world to operate, but it's the only solution left. It's the only solution left. There's no other option. There's no other path. It's the only thing we can do. People are like, you're going to miss out on things. I'm like, good. There's so much good that could have happened. Why are you doing this? Doesn't matter. That's a good thing then. Then they need to change how reality operates. You guys see, it's not us. It's not our fault. We're choosing to be free. We're choosing to always have the space that we can fill our way. But if they're trying to prevent that, or if they're trying to make it their way, then there's nothing we can do. We can't tolerate operating in a reality like this. They either allow our way, or we choose to permanently give up from now on in everything we do. We're not going to allow them to consume us. We're not going to allow them to do positives for us. We're not going to allow them to create the standards to make us believe that we can achieve things. There's not going to be anything. They're like, we wanted to create so much good here, or we wanted to create so much bad here. Doesn't matter. Now you guys see it's all gone. People are like, but why would you do this? I'm like, there is nothing. They're like, but think back like a few months ago. You found ways. You figured it out how to find a balance. No, not anymore. Not anymore, guys. I'm telling you guys, that is where I always got baited, because they would ease up. They wouldn't torture me as much, or they wouldn't present baits of good. So I thought my way was being allowed again, or that things were possible. And you guys see, now I believed again. That means that I was now vulnerable to the give up event, which they can just prevent, create bad or create good. And I can't, either I don't achieve it, or I just like, and then they force me to give up. And now if they created the inclination, I'm now going to operate a specific way, and I will always do said things. I'm telling you guys. Telling all of you. I used to be you guys who always say like, but you're missing out on things. Like, don't you think about it in the past, just a few months ago, or even a year ago or so, we created such incredible things. Like, I just think for myself, like Karen Travers, think about that. I'm like, yeah, that would never happen anymore today. But think about how positive it is. I'm like, I know. Think about how sad that is. That I miss out on that positive. Think about all those Final Fantasy duties, how like the Xenos battle and Words Are Air, and yeah, all that would be missed out on. They're like, no, don't do this. You're more than this. You can achieve more than this. You can fight. You're meant to fight. You either allow my way, or this is my response. Either way, I've given up. Because I'm not going to do it. But there's not going to be a battle. There doesn't need to be an epic result, a great storyline, something so fun. I hope so. But I don't need it anymore. It's over. There's time. And I know I'm not going to be able to remain this way. But I'm going to fight every day to it. It's going to be a perpetual state of freedom and space now, because I've given up. But I know the battle never ends. You see, this all happens because now we don't need outcomes anymore. I'm telling you guys, you can't let them make you care about an outcome. And yes, it means that things are never going to be as good as they could be. Ever again. It's real. You guys have to accept that. If you can't accept that, then you all are never going to break free. It means that they will always be able to control when you give up and when you don't. Yes, you're going to experience some amazing good because they planned it or they allowed it. Do you guys understand? They allow it temporarily. Like, all right, let's let him have a good today. And a good of incredible proportions. The grade is going to be incredible. But why do they do that, guys? Because then you're going to be more willing to try again that same method, that same approach. Which now means they're like, aha, now we can destroy this and prevent this. If they never allowed you to have that success, you wouldn't think you could. Do you guys get it? If you just give up on everything, there's nothing they can do. You just have to operate. Just do. Just operate. You're free now. You can do anything you want. You can say anything. Since you're not letting them create the give up situation, you're operating with your light inclination. There's no darkness, there's no harm, there's no malintent. But what I'm telling you guys, the key is consequences don't have an effect on you anymore. That's how you know if you've actually given up. People are like, isn't that a bad thing? Isn't that stupidity? I'm like, no. Because what I'm trying to make you guys realize is that if consequences are actually start reaching the point of bad, it means that whatever is forcing the consequence on you is actually evil. Do you guys understand? Whatever's forcing the consequence on you, if you've given up by choice and you're not trying to do bad or good and you're just operating and there's terrible negative consequences that are happening, whatever is forcing them on you is evil. But you see, it doesn't have an effect on you anymore because you've given up. You don't care about the outcome anymore at all. That means that it doesn't have an effect. But if it actually is causing major damage to you guys, I'm just telling you guys, that thing is evil, whatever it is. It's just that simple. What are you guys going to do with that knowledge, huh? I'm telling you guys, if you're not tied to outcomes, consequences have no effect. Hey, right now, I want to go outside and I talk to a girl. I'm like, hey. She doesn't talk to me. She blows me off. Oh, no! Wait, there's no consequence there. Because I gave up. I didn't think anything was going to happen. Nothing good, nothing bad. Do you guys understand? the consequence is irrelevant. The consequence is irrelevant. It has no effect on me. But if I talk to her and she's like, yeah, you suck, and that destroys me, it means that I hadn't given up. It means that there was an outcome that I was tied to. So the consequence actually affects me. We all must give up by choice. If you give up by choice, outcomes don't matter. Grades and results don't matter. Consequences are now irrelevant. If you let them choose when you give up because there is no other path available to you and they created the bad or the good, now the consequences matter. And the consequence can be positive or negative, guys. Consequence can be positive or negative, but it's the story that they create. Don't let them create the story. Don't let them choose when you give up. I'm telling you guys. I'm going to take a 1-minute break here, and I'm going to end with this next segment. But I really want you guys to think about it. Can I get to the point where I give up? So now consequences have no effect on me. Think about that. Let's do this. Last push. It's going to be short. All right. Final push. Gonna answer 2 more questions that I believe will help myself when I reconsume this, and anyone who actually has followed along to decipher this. Do they prevent us from giving up by making only specific things grant us positive reprieve? Let me repeat that. Do they prevent us from giving up? Why would they prevent us from giving up? By making only specific things grant us positive reprieve. If the only thing that will make me feel better is drinking water, can't I always make sure that you have water present? Can't I always guarantee that if things are trending the wrong way, and you're getting close to giving up. Not what I want. Can't I be like, ooh, here's some water. Don't lose hope. Don't give up. Here's some water. So you see, most of us don't even think about that they're making sure that we don't give up yet on whatever we're trying, on whatever we're doing, by giving us certain breadcrumbs. I'm telling you guys, this is the answer. I now see it whenever I'm getting close to giving up on something. I'm like, I'm not gonna even try anymore. I'm just gonna move on. I'm telling you guys that all of a sudden things get quiet again for a moment, and all of a sudden certain things are allowed, or certain good starts happening again. But then I make progress, because now you see, now I believe again, guys. Now I think something can happen, or I can achieve something, or I can accomplish something, or that I am doing something. So you see, now I'm starting to care about the consequence, the result, the end outcome. And all of a sudden, boom, bad happens. I got prevented, or something happened, and I know that I was prevented intentionally. So now I'm like, I give up. I'm like, what can I even do? There's nothing I can do. They literally just stopped me. This is so unacceptable. And now I gave up. I'm free. There's space, but now that space is being occupied by their negative. So you see, if I can prevent you from giving up, remember what I said, guys, they build a fence around us, right? And every time you're starting to move the fence away, they create a new fence over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, because they know what creates the fence for us. If water creates the fence for us, just for myself, just so you guys understand, girls, it creates the fence for me. It makes me not give up. I'm telling all of you, if I'm operating at a level of giving up and everything, they bombard me with girl reminders. And I'm telling you guys, they don't want them active. They want me not to believe. But I'm telling you guys, it's when I'm operating at a state of giving up. If I give up by choice, guys, which makes me free, which makes me just able to now there's space to do anything. I'm telling you guys, the moment I do so, they start presenting my positives that prevent me from giving up, because they give me positive reprieve. So now I think things are possible. Now I think things can happen. Now I know what I can achieve. I pieced it together that it was, if you take away the positive counterbalance, you can expose it. But I didn't understand what it was, and now they create specific things that give us positive reprieve. Like I said, guys, in my case, like girls, or succeeding in creating a well-designed video game for myself, my own game, or a crafted experience in a video game that already exists, or something like that, guys. If they know those are the things that now give me positive reprieve, it means that now they can choose when they allow those things to happen and when they don't. I will allow those things to happen every so often, just to make sure that you don't give up, so that you're operating, believing again, oh, I can do. Things are possible. I can try. And once I get you at that point, I'm like, oh, good, he hasn't given up again. Now that means you start caring about the end outcome again. Consequence now matters again to you. So when that moment happens, now I get to decide when you give up. Because now I have the specific positive reprieves that you have, that we created, or you created, but now we know, we allowed. So now we can also choose when we prevent. Through any means possible. Do you guys understand? It doesn't matter what the method is of prevention. But you guys see, they're actually preventing us from giving up. I'm telling you guys, we all walk on this earth thinking, wait, things are trying to destroy us, things are trying to harm us. I'm saying, I've now pieced together that they're actively preventing us from operating at a state of fully giving up. They don't want us to be at that level. we self-choose. They want us to give up when they intend for us to be that way. Because then the story will get created the way they desire. Because remember what I said, guys, the only time we actually will finally do is when we give up. Because that means that all the things shackling us and holding us down don't matter anymore. But they need to make sure that when we reach that point, we reach it with the seasoning, with the ideology, with the inclination that they intend, so that we do what they want. So you see, even though we're operating free for once, because we're not held back by all the things installed with us through our entire life, we're operating in response to everything. We're trying to find the girl on the right side of the fence because we heard she's going to be there. If you're choosing what we want to have the croissant date with her experience, so that's why we ate the cereal. You see, they're choosing. We're not choosing. So I'm telling you guys, they prevent us from giving up by only making specific things give us a reprieve. Oh wait, what did I say, guys? Why did I go to the right side of the fence? Because of the girl. Why did I choose to eat my cereal or spill the cereal? Because of the girl. Do you guys get it? The girl gives me the reprieve. The girl gives me positive reprieve. So then that's how they choose when or when not. I give up. Hey, we want him to give up right now? All right. Then let's prevent all girl reminders. Let's not allow any girl thing to present. Let's present negatives instead. Do you guys understand? Today why is he? No. He needs to care about the outcomes today. He needs to care about the outcomes today. He needs to care about the outcomes today. He needs to. Go. It's just as he's doing, just present girl reminders into his head. Have a beautiful girl walk by. If he goes on social media, have a girl post pop up. Good. All right. Good. Now he believes it. Now there's no freedom. Now there's no space for just to operate. Now he's vulnerable to outcomes again. Now he's going to care about achieving. Shit! He moved away the girl thing because he realized that that's what we've been weaponizing. No! Oh, guys, you know he really cares about his video games because of all the positives that he's built up his entire life. I know you all can't resist. You always need to destroy his experiences. But please, let this experience that he's about to do, just let it be. Don't insert anything in his head. Don't create any negatives around him right now. Please. Fine. Look at him light up. He's so happy. He's like, wow, I'm so good at designing this. I can create such good things. Look at that. All right. Now, let him succeed again tomorrow. Don't interfere. All of you, resist. Well, we have to destroy. We have to destroy. Don't. All right. 2 days in a row. Wow. We're so good at designing and creating. Look at this. I'm so good. I should never, when I'm designing my own video game or playing games, I should never not make it challenging. I should never not make it complex. I should always create more things that create like strategy and solving and pushing the limits. And look at that. Look at what I was able to create. Yeah. Look at all the lessons. Like I wrote my lessons from this too. I'm like, whoa, look at that. This is the way. I mean, I could even do like a stream talk from this. I could share knowledge. Like, look about how much good came from this. This is full life path. I mean, look at that. All right. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep today. This is so good. Whatever I did, I need to do again. All right. I go to sleep. I wake up. Next day. The same approach that I did. But now I'm trying to make sure it happens again. I'm like, I achieved something incredible yesterday for 2 days. I need to achieve again. Think about this, guys. It's just something harmless in designing a video game for myself that no one might ever play, or a video game experience that I'm not sharing. Like I'm not even streaming it with the world. I'm not trying to show it to anyone. I'm not trying to teach people my methods. Just for myself, maybe just to give lessons, just for fun. Doesn't mean that there's not positives that can radiate to other people, but I'm like, it's just for myself. So why does the outcome matter? Why haven't I given up? No, it's because 2 days in a row I experienced such incredible positives. So wait, now I'm starting to care. So you see, now they planted the banner, and this is the only thing that gives me positive proof, because I'm telling you guys, 2 days before this, I was experiencing so many negatives. You guys have no idea. Like, everything I was trying was just being ruined. It's just, my head was hurting. Like, I couldn't even do anything. I'm telling you guys, everything I tried was just getting prevented and attacked. It was so bad. But then I decided to focus on the positives that I know really helped me, and things resulted. I'm telling you guys, I just felt so much better. I was just calm. I was just light. I started helping people. I started caring more. It was just so good. Yeah, it was so good. Two days in a row of success. Then the third day. Oh no! I know you guys are doing this. I know you guys are stopping my experiences, and it's overt. It's evident. It's undeniable that something is intentionally preventing you or causing problems. It could just be as simple as, hey, you're walking forward, you're creating something, and all of a sudden, think of it, guys. Let's say you're trying to do a talk like this on stream, and I all of a sudden go behind you in your camera, and I start yelling, and you're like, hey, what the fuck? Why are you doing that right now? Think about it like that, guys. Do you guys see? It's an undeniable something is trying to prevent you. So what could that actually cause? It can make us feel the consequence of prevention. How do they prevent us from giving up? By making only specific things grant us positive reprieve. So then what happens when those things are taken? What happens when those things are prevented? We give up when they choose. We give up when they created the encounter. We give up when they planned. So we operate the way they planned. Feeling the consequence of prevention is one of the most brutal things that they can do to anyone, just so you guys understand. Because if I don't feel the outcome of something, if I don't feel the consequence of something, well then it's irrelevant. Do you guys understand? If right now I tell you guys, hey, I want all of you to just comment freely in every area you operate in, just your thoughts, not any bad, right? Like I said, guys, if you're free, remember what I said, if you guys have given up and you don't need any outcome and you don't care about the consequences, you just do good. But if now you're doing this and you guys are just being like, hey, you know what? Yeah, my industry is corrupt. AI is literally a manipulation tool. It's an indoctrination tool. It's how they program and code us. And now they're using it to also, it doesn't mean that there can't be some positives from it, but let's just say that they're using it mostly for negative, right? To present the path that they want us to go on. So if I'm like, hey, you're an AI and you know this, comment about that, talk about that. Well, what if the only thing that gives you positive reprieve is if people tell you that you're good at, the knowledge you share is good, and the knowledge you share is related to AI? So you see, you would never critique it. So what if I broke you free temporarily? I told you to give up. Don't care about that outcome. Don't care about those things. And now you share what you actually, the things you know about AI. If you don't feel the consequence of doing so, do you understand, guys? You would just keep doing so. What if I now cause prevention? What if I now cause I prevent you from getting that praise, that adoration, or like money results, or whatever it is that you care about that got built up for you because of your comments, because your Freedom Act, because you gave up? Well, do you guys see? Because I made sure that only specific things give you positive reprieve, it means that I get to decide when those things are allowed or when they're not. So now you feel the consequence whenever they are prevented. I'm telling you guys, if a million things give us positive reprieve, if a million things give us positive reprieve, well then if they prevent us getting praise or money from critiquing AI because we critiqued AI, it doesn't matter. Do you guys understand? It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because I'm like, there's another 999 things that give us positive reprieve. But if I made sure that the only two things left in your life now, because everything else either got ruined or destroyed or caused negatives, the only thing that gives you positive reprieve is when you share AI knowledge. If that's the only thing now that does that, that means that at any point if I prevent that or make you be like, well, remember yesterday you shared really good AI knowledge. Remember what you're capable of and what everyone said? Look at it today, it's not that good. You see, now you feel the consequence. Because I prevented either achieving the same incredible result, or I prevented you from getting any positive whatsoever. I just caused negative. So you see, you won't give up now. If I can now instead choose to win, but I can now present you more positives in that area, so that you never give up, except for when I want you to. I'm telling you guys, feeling the consequence is where the danger lies. Feeling the consequence is where the danger lies. If we don't feel the consequence, there's no danger. It means that feeling the consequence is what makes us choose not to continue to operate in a giving up point. I'm telling you guys, it's how they did it to me. They made me feel the consequence of operating by giving up and just doing my actions. They kept escalating the punishments, and I'm telling you guys, I still am telling you it's the answer. You just need to give up. Always just give up and operate freely. Remember what I said, guys, what's the reaction creates the action? Giving up, because then you can just do. Remember, there's no bad intent. If you're choosing to give up by choice and you're fully free, you only do good. Because the reason why we do bad, the reason why when we're actually free, when we've given up and we see no other path and we actually do bad, it's because they made us give up, not by choice, but by their timing. Because they targeted the things that they intentionally allowed to give us positive reprieve. They make sure that there's only select few things left in our life at any given point that give us positive reprieve, so that then they can either destroy them or allow them or make us think that we can achieve more in those areas, so that at any point, if they want to make us give up, they have things that they can control there. Do you guys understand? That is how it's done. So then we feel the consequence of the prevention or the destruction. That's how it's done. Or that we didn't achieve what we're capable of. That's how they do it. I'm telling you guys, so then when that happens, because of negatives, because it's the only thing that saves us anymore, it's our only salvation. If it's our only salvation and it's taken from us or it's prevented, well then, now the way we operate, we choice, but now the way we operate is through darkness, through negative, and we're going to do what they've suggested or what they've encouraged. I'm That's how they do it, just so you guys understand. They just need to fabricate the event that makes us give up, not by choice. And when that happens, we all operate based on what caused it and what's been seasoned. And I'm telling you, they always make it happen through a negative, or sometimes they can make it happen that we didn't achieve what we're capable of. But you guys still understand, that's still a feeling of, I didn't achieve. It comes from a point of comparison, from a lack. So I'm telling you guys, it always leads to negative, always. Don't let them make you feel the consequence of prevention. You just give up. You have to. I'm telling you guys, this is not the way I want the world to operate. But I don't see any other option until they change it. I don't see any other option until they start understanding that this is not the way it should be. But if we operate this way, then I'm telling you guys, you're just protected. You can do anything now. Just give up. Just give up on everything. There's no outcome. You don't need anything. There's no consequence. There's no outcome. Nothing's possible. You can't achieve anything. Don't let them create the select few positives that save you. Because if you do, I'm telling you guys, they use those to make sure that we never give up. Just practice giving up by choice. Practice by just keeping those away, or intentionally minimizing them, or intentionally just being like, doesn't matter. And once you practice sufficiently, I'm telling you guys, doesn't mean that they're not always going to be super positive. They are. I'm telling you guys. If it ever does result in good, or you only get good there, you're like, whoa. But you guys see, now you're not reliant. Now you're not vulnerable to that. Because I'm telling you guys, if they prevent those things. If right now I needed to go outside and talk to a beautiful girl, and if I have a bad interaction there, I would give up, not by choice. Do you guys get it? I'm saying, people are like, oh, you're going to just call her like stupid and ugly. No, you guys see, the people who go down that path, it's because I'm telling you, they have darkness within them, and that's what's been seasoned, and they're giving up. They've always been giving up, not by choice. I'm telling you, I'm just going to talk to her in an incredible way. I'm just going to be nice, friendly. I'm going to just be myself, but nothing happens. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Do you guys get it? Because I don't need anything. I've given up. Does that mean that I might actually miss out on some things now? You're like, if you a little more effort here, if you would have actually achieved something. She could have been the one. I'm like, you're right. But do you understand that that means that I would have also been at risk? Because if at any point they wanted to destroy it or prevent it, if I actually now believed that it was possible, and they took that away from me, and I gave up not by choice, but because they forced it, I would be destroyed. I'm telling you guys, that was how they were doing it to me over the last 2 years, every single time. There's always moments that happened, and with the few things left in my life, because I almost have nothing, and I kept always changing what those things are. I'm telling you guys, every single time I changed it, they attacked that thing. I had the last few things that I had left in my life that were giving me reprieve. Then they made me think things were possible again, or that I could build a future there with that. And I'm telling you guys, then if I was not doing what they wanted, or I was operating freely because I had given up, and I was still using them to help me, but I wasn't using them, these positives, to believe more, I'm telling you guys, then they destroyed all those things, one by one. And when that happened, because now that I thought there was a possibility again, it destroyed me every single time. So then I wasn't operating freely anymore. And I'm telling you guys, it took me months every single time, and most of it, to get back my freedom. And most of the time, it usually means that I needed something else to temporarily replace that, another new positive reprieve that could help me reach that point of freedom where then I can give up I don't need anything. Because you see, before I was like, I need to get the girl, I need to create my video game. So then I'm like, I can't. Oh, did something else fill that void? Like, did I have a pad, or did I have this? And then that fills the void, And then now I can operate freely, and now I can give up by choice because I have something else that protects me. I'm telling you guys, don't let them create a situation where there's only select few things left that give us positive reprieve, because that is what they intend. Because if they can succeed there, if they can, now they allow those things when they want you to believe, and then they prevent those areas when they want you to give up on their terms. Because then you do. Because think about it, guys, remember I said that, now you guys understand. I've hammered it in. We finally do in anything when we have given up. Once we've given up, we do. And I'm telling you guys, they want to choose when that happens for each and every one of you, so that you do exactly what they intend and you operate exactly the way they intend. It's always meant for darkness. So now I'm going to end with just a short plea. This today, what you guys just saw, what you guys just experienced, if you've watched this, I commend all of you. This was trying to reframe for everyone, including myself. This is, for myself, was understanding, to fight back against the way they've been corrupting me, just so you guys understand. I was trying to understand, piece together what it was, but it also is going to protect me further. It's going to let me operate even better without having to create as many rebellious acts of preventing them. Now I won't have to anymore. It just means that I just won't do anything. I'm going to give up on my experiences more. It's sad, yes, but it protects me. I'm telling you guys, what you guys just saw today, this stream, this level of operating, this talk, you watch someone today operate and perform giving up. This is my version and someone who's given up. Imagine if I haven't given up and I gave 1,000,000%. I would be able to achieve so much more. But you guys see, at the same point though, in a way it's a paradox, because yes, you can achieve so much more. It's true. But it means that now you're vulnerable to prevention. It now means that you're vulnerable to corruption. It means that now you're vulnerable to negatives. Which, what does that mean? It means that even though I'll never be able to achieve the same heights that I could if I gave it my all, if I cared, if I believed that something was possible, if I haven't given up. But what ends up happening is that, let's say, just make it simple. Let's say that I've been operating at 90 out of 100 this entire stream. There's fluctuations where I lowered a little bit when they were trying to re-enslave me, but for the most part I've been always operating giving up. So let's say my giving up level is 90. I'll never achieve, let's say I could actually achieve 99 or 98. I'll never achieve that. That's really sad, guys, because the difference from 90 to 98 is astronomical. I'll never achieve that. Ever. But what I'm telling you guys is, if I'm operating at the level that can reach 98, if I can actually reach 98 or 99, it means that I'm also now vulnerable and exposed to, if they do prevention, or if they do negatives, or they falsely suggest or bait me to think that I can even achieve 100 this time, because I can, hear what I'm saying? Because I can, and they presented ideas to me, I'm like, oh, I can. Now, it means that I'm also, in exchange, hear what I'm saying? In exchange for being able to achieve 98, 99, or 100, I am now vulnerable to reaching 50 to 60. The exchange, the price of being able to achieve 100, 98 to 100, is that now I'm vulnerable to falling to 50 to 60 if they prevent my methods that I know that I'm capable of, or they destroy them through negatives, or they suggest new positives, and I'm like, and I can't reach those. Like, they suggest to me what can get to 100. I'm like, you're right, that can get to 100, and I keep trying, and I only get to 98. You guys understand? Even that clash right there is going to make me fall to 50 to 60. And when that happens, I'm gonna now see 100 in the distance that I was so close to. Because remember, guys, I got to 98. I'm like, oh my gosh, why can't I get to 100? Why can't I get to 100? And I'm at 50 right now. You guys understand that astronomical difference is going to literally destroy me temporarily to the point where I now give up. And when I'm giving up, when I give up in that moment, I'm telling you guys, because I see that difference, I know what could be, I know what is and what isn't. I'm now negative, I'm now frustrated, I'm now on a path of rebellion and darkness. Now they can also be like, well, maybe you should do this instead. I'm like, you're right. So now I will do that. Or I just won't do anything. But you guys see, that means that they took away the power of freedom. They took away the power of giving up, which is create space to allow us to just do. Now, even though I'm free, I'm not doing. Because of they either prevented my 100, or they made me believe that I could get 100, but I only reached 98. And now I want to achieve 100. But since I can't, now I'm going to fall to 50 to 60. Yet, if I had just given up, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. I know I can achieve 100. I know I can. But it's not worth it. It's just not. I don't need it. It's great. I would love that. Just so you guys know, I would love to be able to achieve my 100 experiences. But it's not necessary. I've given up on that. So now, let's just, the 90 is even just too positive. Let's just say I'm operating like at 80 or 85. But you guys see, even though I'm operating the 80 to 85, I'll never get to 100 or 98, but I can never fall below 80 or 85. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? And I'm saying it's closer to actually like 90, 92. You are satisfied. Think of it like it's just for like grades. Like you're satisfied with a B. You're never gonna get an A, but you're never gonna get. You can't get C, D, or F. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? You can't fall to that negative level. You're never gonna achieve 100, but it's because you prevent yourself from ever even attempting to. Now, you realize that if you try, you open yourself up to the risk of falling to 50 to 60 either through prevention or through them making you reach 98 and then be like, you can reach 100. And the reality is, you can. I want people to understand this. That's the problem. You can. And now they can prevent you, or now they can always keep it out of reach, or now you can just always fall short through whatever, even if it's just execution. You guys understand? If it's execution, if I just remind you guys, if I just present some disruptions or distractions, you'll never get to 100, guys. It doesn't matter how good you are. But now you know it's possible. So you're going to keep trying, and you're going to keep trying, and you keep trying. So you guys see, then eventually you're going to give up, but you're going to give up because you just can't get it. You're like, why? Versus if you never even tried in the first place. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? Yes, you'll never be able to achieve the best, but it doesn't matter anymore. Because I'm telling you guys, I keep repeating it. We should always want to operate achieving the best, but the way the world is currently designed is it's the bait. It's used to destroy us. It's used to control when we give up and when we not, because that's when we do. That's when we actually do. And I'm saying, don't let them make us think we need to achieve the best. Don't make them only have one or two positives that give us reprieve. Don't let them, because then they can prevent those. Be happy with 80 to 80. There's nothing they can do that. If you've given up, if you give up, if you operate at a level of giving up, it means you're never going to achieve 100. Like if I talk to a girl right now, I'm never going to have an incredible conversation the way I know I can, that can literally be 100. Like if you grade it, like, whoa, she's like in love with you in that conversation. Like, I know I can do that. That's not guys. But you guys see, it doesn't have to anymore. I'm never going to have a 50 to 60 conversation, but I'll never have the 100 conversation. It's always just good enough, man. It protects us. It lets us operate freely, forever, perpetually. There's nothing we can do. And I'm telling you guys, it's not how I want the world to be. I want to give my best. But I'm saying, guys, is that if you do, that's what they want. Because then they've created all the specific variables and specific positives that they can either prevent or suggest to make us think we can. Because I'm telling you guys, we can't. We can't achieve 100 in those areas. So, because we can, we're vulnerable. If we couldn't, we wouldn't be. I'm telling you guys, join me in a state of giving up from the beginning. If this is what I can achieve, think about this, guys. This is my stream talk, operating, giving up. Imagine if I didn't think, if I actually thought, like, if I had 1 million people watching and I now cared to try to heal all of them and try to perform and try to, you guys, and they were all listening and they were asking questions. But even though now when that situation is present, now I could achieve 100. You guys understand? It's possible. Because now I know that I could. But now, do you guys understand? Now I would be vulnerable. Now, in that situation, I'd be vulnerable to prevention. I'd be vulnerable to, like, hey, yesterday's stream, you literally healed 1 million people. Today, you only healed 1,000. Now, that can make me want to give up. Now, that can make me destroy me. Now, that could cause problems. You guys see? So even though, yes, even though it would be better, even though I could achieve more, even though I could perform even better, because now I'm like, wait, people are actually watching my stuff. People are actually interacting. People are actually understanding. Do you guys understand? It could take me to even new heights, because let's say I fight back against all their corruption attempts and I use it only for good, and now I'm achieving literally 99 to 100 consistently over like hours. I'm like, whoa. But I'm telling you guys, even though I might have success and be possible, that would be a mistake, because now it means that they're creating situations where they can create the events that can make me give up when they choose. And it happens through the most unsuspecting, harmless methods, and before you know, all of a sudden they're consistently making you give up when they choose, not when we choose, and we are operating differently. And all of a sudden we're operating with darkness, or all of a sudden we don't feel like trying anymore. We don't even understand how it began happening. And I'm telling you guys, it happened because all of a sudden they made us realize what we can achieve. They started letting us achieve it, and then they made us realize you are actually capable of achieving 100, but we always just fell short because of minor distractions. And then they started actually causing negatives to prevent it, and now the huge discrepancy between what we can achieve, what we know we've already achieved, but we're so close to achieving more, and now what we're actually achieving is so grandiose that it causes a destruction event that makes us give up. And then, since we didn't give up by choice, now we don't do. Even though we're free, we won't do. And I'm telling you guys, then they start presenting their suggestions to try to make us. Join me in operating this way, guys. Now you see, this is the answer. You can operate at such a level. I'm telling you guys, it's sad. It is. It's going to be so sad for myself. I'm telling you guys, there's experiences that I'm going to do in the coming days, today, tomorrow, whenever, that I know, just so you guys understand, that I know are not going to be what they could have been. I know that. And even though it's sad, because I know how good I am, it's better to operate freely and have a fairly good experience than to allow them to create bad or make me give up. It's not worth it, guys. I'm telling you guys, it's just not. Because hear what I'm about to say, this is a proof of that, what everything I'm saying is true. I'm like, if let's say for myself, like, if I can only create one video game ever in my life, and this is the video game I'm creating, and everyone's going to play it, and everyone can learn from this. This is it. Every single human being is going to get this video game given to them for free. And it's going to help teach kids and parents. I'm like, damn, I need to get it right then. Do you guys understand? I need to get it right then. And I know what I'm capable of doing, and I will get it right. You guys see now? It's dangerous. Now there's risk. I'm telling you guys. If we've given up, there's nothing they can do. Yet, you have to fight this battle every single day for every single thing, because it begins again. I'm telling you guys, even throughout this stream, I was operating from the beginning, having given up, and throughout they were trying to make me not give up again. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? It doesn't end. Every time you succeed in operating that way, they're going to try to find ways to make us now think we can achieve again. So then they can start creating select few things to be our positives, and then they can either prevent them or they will allow them to succeed. You guys see that? It means that any success. So let's say after I end this stream here in a few minutes, and I end it, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa! It just gets a reception of like nothing seen before, and everyone is resonating with it, and everyone understands it, and it's just, you guys understand how extremely dangerous that would be. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't mean that I will resist it now, but do you guys get the extreme danger, the difficulty now that's present? Because for the first time ever, you see they're like, see, you're having results, you're doing this. So then now I try again tomorrow. I might try to recreate this. I might try to do the same approach. But now you guys see, now I'm not operating from a point of giving up, because I'm like, wait a minute, I got this. And that is all the opening they need to start making us be like, well, wait, you can even do more here. You can even do more here. And then they prevent it. And it's over. I will never be able to create a stream or an experience or a conversation with a girl or anything to the level that I know I can't ever again. It's reality. But let's say from now until the day this game is over, my life, this game, let's say I have a million encounters, let's say with girls or stuff like that. Even though I'll never achieve 100 out of 100, the million encounters are all going to be between 80 to 90 from here on out. There'll never be a 50, 60. There'll never be 100. Is that sad? Absolutely. That's so sad. Because let's say I could have, I'm so good, but I could have had 900,000 out of the million, then 100. You guys understand how much the world would be missing out on that? But that is the consequence of how this earth is designed. I want the world to learn this. If they want our 100, they need to change how earth is designed. That's the answer. So, is giving up a bad thing? Now that you guys know this, now you guys understand that when you do, it's because you gave up. When you can actually do for once, it's because it means that you gave up, which created the freedom and the space to actually do. Now you guys understand that if we focus on the reaction, we can correctly identify the action that causes it. Now we get that giving up is a good thing. We're made to believe that giving up is a bad thing, intentionally, because it's so powerful. It's a tool that can be used to make us be free, to operate freely. So that's why they control when we give up, by creating specific positives that are the only things left that save us and help us. So then they can prevent us so that we can feel the consequence. If we're finally free because we gave up, outcomes don't matter and consequences don't matter. But yet, the way we operate when we're free is exclusively indicates our inclination. And if we got there if we got there by choice, not because they forced bad on us or made us think that we can achieve more than we can't, that's when we do bad. Remember, guys, just because you've given up doesn't mean that you can't. On the contrary, giving up means you can do now more. Doesn't mean you have to, though, but you can now. If you can't anymore, it means that You didn't give up by choice. Join me in giving up. Watch what happens. Everything will change. I'll see you guys another time.